Welcome to Liverpool, Nova Scotia, Canada. We see the Mersey River, 146 kilometers long and named after the Mersey River in Liverpool, England. Liverpool itself, not the biggest community, but it's 2,500 people, but there's a lot of heart and hospitality here that we have seen for the past week or so, proven a tremendous host of the World Junior Curling Championships 2019. We're back in the modern facility of Queen's Place, Emirates Centre. Canada will play Norway in the men's semi-final. To give you the play-by-play, myself, Sander Rølvåg, and curling expert Laura Walker. Good evening, Laura.
Good evening.
All setting up for a great match here as we meet the teams for Canada. At lead, Alex Horvath, Matt Hall at second, Sterling Middleton at third, and Team Canada will be skipped again by Tyler Tardy. For Team Norway, at lead, Andreas Horstad. Their second, Jørgen Myran. At third for the Norwegians, Mikael Mellemseter. And team skip is Magnus Ramsfjell. We'll take a quick look at the women's standings. It's China, Canada, Switzerland and Russia that are through, also playing semi-finals this evening. All semi-finals are on at the same time here. And that's how they're played. China will play Russia, Canada will play Switzerland, and pretty simple stuff. The winners will head into that gold medal game and the losers play for bronze. Same for the men. We see Scotland at top, undefeated, while Canada, Norway and Switzerland join them into the semi-finals, and they're all playing for gold as well. As we see Scotland ranked number 1, they'll play Switzerland ranked 4. Canada taking on Norway. It's a 2-3 game, and that's the game we'll keep our eyes on this evening. Some music being played in the arena, everyone livening up this Friday night. Lots of people come out to watch. As we see, Canada will be playing the red stones. Norway throws the yellow. And I believe Canada would have the choice of hammer as well, Laura.
Yes, for the remainder of the playoffs, there will be no draw to the button for hammer. The team that placed higher in the standings, which in this case is Team Canada, will have the last rock advantage. Should they choose that, they could also choose rock color, but a pretty big advantage to give up that hammer in the first end.
Andreas Horstad will throw the first stone of the semi-final. Looking to bring this into the rings. Finds the top of the tartan forfeit. Looks like Canada will opt for the hit.
Good prize.
Alex Horvath.
Yep.
We'll throw lead rocks for Canada.
Yep. Yep.
And a big sweep early for Sterling Middleton to get warmed up. So I'll just hit and check.
Canada most likely just wanting to make sure they're comfortable with this ice, get settled into the semi-final. This is a big game for both of these teams. I can imagine there's a few nerves and butterflies fluttering around, so this will give both teams a chance to just settle in here.
Yeah, quite a lot of noise this evening as well. A lot of fans coming in, especially a lot of Canadian fans. Let's see if that might just fire up the Norwegians even more, or if it's going to fire up the Canadians the most.
I think it definitely will do both of those things, and it will be key for Canada to not let those fans and their noise add pressure to them, and key for Norway not to allow that to get under their skin. Both teams just need to block out everything and play the game they've played this whole week.
A little more. Well then. Close. A little more. No. Clean. Yep. Yep. Hard. Good.
Looking like a pretty straightforward first end here.
I said to Sterling, I was like, for this one I flash and then we win.
Here's Jørgen Myran. He was the alternate last year. Now coming out to place second. The Norwegians finishing in 6th place a year ago in Aberdeen.
Yeah, you were just.
Of course, Canada.
Yeah, it came up good though. Okay.
They won gold. Matt Hall was not on that team.
Touch left.
There's a new front end for Tyler Tardy and Sterling Middleton. But they're back into a semi-final with a new lineup.
Whoa.
And you would just expect the new front end to be just as hungry to win their first gold medal as their back end looking for their second.
Yeah, maybe even more so when you've never done it before, and these guys coming towards the end of their junior careers, they're going to want to win a gold medal before they're done.
In all honesty, might have to say that's probably harder to be able to represent Canada as well. So much competition here. A lot of good junior teams. Might be a little bit easier for certain other nations where there's less depth at junior level.
Yeah, there's just so many teams in Canada. It can be hard enough just to get out of your own province, let alone win the Canadians. And once you're through the Canadian Championships, as Team Canada, you're usually expected to do quite well at the World just because of how hard it is to win your country.
Clean, you're good.
Clean.
That's all right.
Year-old Mikael Melemseter played second last year, made the move up to third for this campaign. One of many youth Olympians from the 2016 Youth Olympic Games that were held in Norway. It's nice to see a lot of those athletes take the step up into the World Juniors, which is just a whole step up.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a coincidence at all either that you see so many athletes who did compete at those 2016 Youth Olympics here at the Worlds. When they gain that experience and play in an event of that stature, it just helps them get to this level and perform at this level. Such a great experience for them.
Sterling Middleton was also at the very same Youth Olympic Games 3 years ago. Playing lead at the time. It was a mixed competition, which the Youth Olympics is in the team play. Gold medal. Tyler Tardy played third. That rank was skipped by Mary Fay.
Okay.
It's the first rollout we've actually seen this in. These teams seem to have had a pretty good handle on this ice surface so far, sticking every hit they've thrown, and often if you throw the same spot over and over again, it can tend to get a little bit straighter, so maybe just not quite tightening up the broom, or a little bit of an overthrow there and just kept it straight. So now this gives Sterling Middleton a chance to find his draw weight early in this game.
Yeah, I agree.
Line's good, guys. Wait only. You can be deep. Looks okay. Deep's fine, boys. What was that one?
Not a lot of curlers have been able to win back-to-back World Junior Championships. The likes of Charlie Thomas did it back in 06 and 07. John Morris in 98 and 99. I believe the first person to do it was Ron Brewster, brother of Tom Brewster, as he played for his brother Tom in 95, and then again for James Triborough the year after. As we see a first real big mistake in the game, and it's made by Norwegian skip Magnus Ramsfjell. And last time we saw Norway on the broadcast,
Kølla en del mer enn andre veien.
he had some troubles with that in
Jeg
turn.
satte den ikke superstramt.
Yeah, it seemed like he was maybe just getting it going a little bit or over-rotating it, getting it a little bit close to the 12th position before letting it go.
Same as mine,
It was
guys.
really curling on him.
No double.
So something for Team Canada, I'm sure
Line's
that they've scouted and maybe try to force play over there on that side a little bit.
Are we like back?
For Magnus being already now in a
little
semifinal
deeper in
game, he
T-line,
probably
man.
doesn't want to think about it too much. Don't bother changing the way you're throwing. Just open up
double,
the
guys.
broom, play the out turn when you can. It's not that he's throwing it awfully. He just needs to broom for it and be prepared for it.
That was Tyler Tardy's out turn being a left-hander,
I
but
didn't feel like that much more.
No,
You gave us what we asked for. That slid
same
real well.
rotation as
Slid a little
Magnus,
better than throwing.
clockwise. Hoping to keep that probably flat and level, but coming that deep makes the double very thin.
Yeah, it's kind of one or the other. If you can't get it even, you want to bring it as far back into the house as you can. And one thing that Norway will want to be careful of here in this first end is to make sure you at least get the one. This double is very thin, like you just said, and
was a
sometimes
tough
you
one. I
can
threw more than
go
they
a little bit
wanted,
hard for that and end up missing everything. So really need to be conscious here that you don't give away an easy 3 in the first end. If you hit and roll in front, it at least makes it a little bit of a tougher hit and stick for Tyler Tardy.
Well, if you want to hit roll, maybe play softer weight. The double's kind of all or nothing. You might as well go for it. Sounds pretty close. Does he have a piece? One, actually too thin.
Yeah, tough to hit that too thin.
That was a good try. A bold one. Definitely went for it. So often you see that be a little bit safe.
Yes.
See them maybe catch half a rock roll across the top.
For Magnus, though, that looks like a great throw. It went, I think, exactly how they thought it would down the ice, so that's got to give him some confidence after that first miss here in the first end.
4 or 5, you should be okay.
And last stone.
Good.
Line's the same.
Perfect start for
Should be there. Still.
Canada.
Like a foot.
Open draw to score 2. We'll just play the same path again
Same
here.
line, guys. Looks like it's sliding a little better.
Any backing?
It's fine.
We're on it now. Yeah.
Should be
You're on
okay
it,
then.
fine. Just to it.
A little bit heavy here,
Good, buddy.
but
Okay.
pulls up in time. That is 2 for Canada. Probably didn't expect it, but one big mistake from the Norwegian skip,
19 and
and the
21
deuce
over.
is on the board.
I got 20 and 22. It's okay.
Yeah.
I got almost.
Yeah.
Give us 8 feet to the center line, probably at least. Like, I don't know if you want to hear a time.
I don't think it's that. No, let's stick with
Okay.
feet right now.
I just think that that's sliding as good as center. I don't think it's any quicker.
That's not heavy.
Mine's good.
Close.
Okay. It looked a little light to me, but wait on me. Line's good.
Mine's good.
It's okay.
Curling like a
good.
slice. Split 4 foot.
Yep.
Whoa.
Okay, it's there. Okay,
Good.
Nice throw.
Getting the second end started here. Norway would like to score a 2 right back here after that unforced error. And get a really good look at the curl here if our main man could get out of the way. It does break pretty late, and lots of nice finish. And
Sure, it's still doing the same thing.
the ice has been tremendous so far this week.
It has been. John Wall is the head ice technician here in Liverpool. Has
Little
just
less
created
for
some
sure.
great conditions for these players, and
3,
the biggest
2,
thing we've
line's
seen is
okay.
consistency.
The
It's
run is
been
the same.
pretty much the same every game we've
2,
watched, and as a
line's
curler,
good.
you really
Line's good. Probably
can't
gonna
ask for much
overcurl.
more than that.
Okay, weight's good.
Line will be good. 2, 3.
Weight's fine on its
Let
own.
it
3.
sit. Just past your room. Gotta sit.
No, has to
Okay.
sit for line.
Should be okay. Yeah, that's good.
Good.
See that?
Nice.
Curls up nicely to cover the shot stone. And here he is.
There's John Wall from Ottawa, head ice technician here. And another thing that happens throughout the week at an event is the rocks start to get straighter. So for John to continue to just subtly add more curl into this ice game after game without having to retexturize the rocks, it's just fantastic what he's done here.
What you might see them do is texture the rocks, basically sandpaper. And if you do that mid-event, it might change the rocks maybe a little too much.
Yeah, it's tough then, all the rock notes that you would have had from early in the week, you can kind of throw those out the window once they've been touched up or sandpapered, like you just said. So to avoid doing that and allow these players to play with the rocks that they know,
Yeah, 50's probably
the
perfect,
conditions that we know,
Okay, throw
been
ball.
great.
If John Wall's not too busy, you might actually try and get him up in the booth here.
Good, he can say a lot more than I can about ice making.
Not heavy.
I got good.
I just know enough to scratch the surface, but the knowledge
good, all
that
you.
he would have about
5, 6. Weight's good.
Yep.
Go.
this ice here,
Hard.
pretty incredible.
Hard.
Hard, boy.
Hard.
5, 6.
Makes you want to go out there and throw a few.
Almost. I've been taking quite a bit of a break, and I've been really enjoying it. So I think I'll just keep watching for now.
Well, some great curling to watch here. That's just a couple of good draws right in a row.
Really nice. Just gets us by the guard barely and adds perfect angle to that yellow rock in the rings. Curling is all about angles, and right now Canada's winning that battle.
Myran with the run.
And that's why the angles are so important. Playing that run back, it was really tough not to leave those red rocks in the rings like Switzerland, Norway just did.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Think so.
Yeah, they're
You got like what? Then half?
Just half.
Okay, that's your job.
Okay. My only other thought was peel the corner, but I don't.
That was my thought too.
What's thinking here for Canada?
55, 60.
Going to guard the shot stone so there's no hit and roll in behind the corner.
Yeah, I believe so.
2.
I got one.
Yeah, a 2 means a
1,
guard.
2.
Line's good.
Line's good.
2.
They
No, but
2, 3.
They were thinking
real
about
good. Just a 2, it's
maybe
good.
peeling that corner
Really
guard,
good,
but
though.
knowing that they'd
Line's
still leave a
real good.
Norwegian guard in
finish
play,
it.
they've decided to cover this up, and you can actually accomplish 2 things. You can
Hard, Sterling, you got
cover
it.
the shot
Hard.
stone and actually cover a piece of
Attaboy, Matt.
this
Good.
yellow rock to make the run back a lot harder, which he's done.
Yeah, they seem to think that Norway couldn't see enough of the redstone top 12 to make the double. It would always jam. So quite happy to put that guard there, and you can see Norway looking to again just try and break it open here.
Videre den veien.
Sorry.
Same thing.
Stein Mellemsetter,
Yeah, well, he's
coach
got
for
the-
Team Norway, the best mustache in all the land.
I think I started it late.
Also father of
55, 60.
Unless you like
Mikael on the team, sitting next to Bjørnstad, the alternate.
And he makes that.
I kind of don't mind the guard right now, but
I don't mind this either.
okay. So like, I probably want to see 45.
40,
here.
Little less into the wing.
just a pair.
Okay.
2 feet less.
Honestly, yeah, that one came
Even
off pretty
similar
good.
is probably okay.
Yeah, I think similar should be close.
I got all there.
Okay, I got there.
Early if you can.
Line
Early
only.
if you can.
Yep.
Line's good. Line's good.
Line only.
Back 8.
Well then.
Back 12. Can't touch it, buddy.
Okay.
Sterling throwing down a new path here. Probably added a little bit extra, thinking it would be slower, but this one sliding right to the back of the rings.
25.
Yeah.
Gives Norway a bit of an out. They can play the same come around.
Speaking of fathers, Paul Tardy as well on the bench for Canada. Father of Tyler.
Prøve sånn da. Bare her.
Beside him is Melissa Sligo. She's been a part of the junior program in Canada for many years. She was actually my team leader back in 2010 in Flims, and so I know firsthand how great she is with these players, what kind of knowledge she can bring to the table, and to have that extra person there is a huge benefit.
Whoa, whoa. In. Yep. Hang. Hang. Well, let me go. Thanks, fella.
Yeah.
Makes
You want to
the
get low.
run back.
Sorry.
Right on the nose.
Leaves the yellow in the
I
12th
think
minute.
this is going to curl quite a
I
bit.
would imagine this should curl, yeah.
Guys like that
I think
ice.
that's close for ice. If you tick the guard, you probably guard ours.
Yeah.
You can hear this communication between the Canadian players. Always input from everyone.
Got a
Weight's
little
good.
On
Yeah.
how it curls, speed. They're very much trusting each other.
Real
And
hard.
that's one of the reasons why they're here.
Hard, man.
They have more communication in the hack, I think, than any other team that we've watched.
Yep.
Wow. what a scrub by Hall and
Even gets an
Horvath.
inside roll there.
Minimum weight, I think.
Yeah.
And that's when all those hours in the gym pay off.
Hard, Matt. Hard, you got it. Hard.
Almost planking on the brush here. Matt Hall just trying to get all his weight and force onto the broom and the ice.
Good. Just minimum weight, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex is sweeping on his slider. Matt's on 2 grippers, so when you watch Matt sweep, I'm sure we'll see another big sweep out of them this game. He's right up on his toes, and his feet are outside of his hip line. And that's what can get the most body weight over top of the broom. You want to have your feet well outside your hips so that if somebody removed that broom from your hand, you'd actually fall on your face. So you have to be careful out there, but that's how you become the most effective.
The run back again for Norway. I hate to be throwing run backs time and time again when you're chasing in the game.
In. Yep. Hard. Hard.
Makes the double. Real good result. That yellow pops out in the open, but certainly opens up the scoring area for Norway.
Yeah, that takes a ton of pressure off your skip there to make a shot like that. Now you at least have some daylight in the forefoot. Pretty similar spot here for Tyler that Sterling just threw. So we should have a pretty good idea.
Same weight.
Clean. Whoa, clean.
Pair more.
Yep. Whoa. Yes. Yep. Whoa. Hard. Yep. Hard. Yes. Yep. Hard. Yep. Whoa. It's good.
Good. Yeah, that carry's good there.
Yeah. Great throw.
Good weight, buddy. Yeah, it's money though.
Nice.
Another thing you'll hear from this Canadian team is the sweepers after every shot, whether it be a draw or a hit. They chat with each other about what the weight was, what the path did, how it feels to them. You see so many sweepers just raise their hand in the air and walk away and not say anything, and it's tough to learn the ice conditions that way. It's not just all on the skip's shoulders to figure out what's going on out there.
Ikke blitt noe glattere siden treningen? Litt, kanskje?
Jeg tror fortsatt det er 10, altså. Bedre å gå enn å holde oss opp.
Litt plass, helt kjempe. Linje, bra.
Fin linje.
Litt plass.
Har plass.
Over.
Sikker. Ja, sikker.
8. Nære 9.
Sakke litt.
7-8.
Må gå med.
7-8.
Må køle.
Ja, Andreas. Hold.
Kom igjen, 90.
Just trying to bury this as much as possible here. Even if they had to go deep there, they just wanted to get buried.
Mike, you have a 16th of it.
So a very small piece.
Yep. It's going to curl off the center. I like it.
Think that.
Same weight? Yeah. That looks pretty good.
I don't see
Think
this
so.
ever having a problem with getting to it.
Maybe a hair more.
You heard that comment from Middleton. It's going to curl off the center line.
Yeah. A lot of center lines, and we've seen that this week, is what we call peaked. So every sheet has a really subtle shape to it. There are intricacies throughout the sheet that lead to what's happening out there, and a peaked center line just means a little teepee on the center line, if you can imagine. It will climb the one side of the center line, so where Sterling has the broom right now, it might take this rock a little bit of time to get to center because it is climbing that hill. But once it crosses over center, it comes to the other side of the teepee or the peak, and that's when you can get quite a bit of curl. So if this rock was, only a 16th open, but right on the center line, I don't think this shot would be there. They're trying to get this off of the center line and into the spot where it's going to curl, but I think this just hung a little bit too long on the other side of that center line, and he got it.
Just enough to kill the yellow. And that's enough for Canada, really. They're lying too. They're going to force Norway to score their single here.
Yeah, Canada didn't really want to stick that rock right there and leave backing for Norway. This way they can make the same cold draw that he just threw, and you never know how the speed might change now after a couple rocks have gone down this path. Should be close though, as he just threw it.
Litt hardere.
Litt hardere.
Ja, litt.
Saying it feels slightly heavier. First one was back 4.
Second one down a path. Slightly heavier than back 4. You don't want to hear that.
This really needs to grow some teeth and sit in time for Norway. Middleton on the sweep to try and drag this as far as possible, and it's going to go all the way to the back of the 12-foot, far enough for Canada to steal 2. They jump ahead 4-0.
I thought weight was pretty much
Another unforced error from the Norwegian skip.
At the end, it was pretty much.
Puts Canada way ahead already.
Pretty much the same when it hit the rock. My 4 is also sliding better than it did.
Jeg lå litt tight, så jeg slapp den litt ut, så sikkert litt derfor. Nei, sorry. Jævla kjipt. Det liksom, jeg føler liksom så klar for å liksom spille bra, og så kommer den starten der. Nei, sorry. Nei, vi feil.
Spiller jo ikke så dårlig.
Weight only line's good. Over curling. Okay, we gotta go weight. Weight's okay.
Keep it going.
Here you go.
Yep.
So we
Get
can
half
go.
forward. Okay, Alex. Good
Okay.
spot. Yeah. Dude, okay.
Good feet.
Yeah. Nice.
Back in action here in the third end, we see Canada. The 4-point lead already after 2 ends lots of work for Norway. We did get a hold of John Wall. We've been so lucky to be joined by you to just discuss the ice a little bit in deeper detail.
Yeah, no, it's more than happy to talk about it and answer any questions you might have.
So first of all, I think the ice has just looked tremendous all week. The players have really enjoyed it. It's been really easy from up here to see. It's been curling. It's been rapid. It's quick, and I think most of all, it's been very consistent. Every draw has looked the same. So how do you even do that?
There's quite a few things that attribute to that. Big thing is this is a great building to work in. There's a lot of facilities that we go into that don't have the necessary equipment that we have to control it. So this week, the equipment's so good here, we've been able to control the environment to exactly where we want it. So that's helped out a lot. Obviously, we have a really good ice crew here this week, and my deputy's been doing a great job, Graham Conrad from Bridgewater. So he's made my life a lot easier this week. Sometimes you don't get that good of a crew. So, and then again, the arena staff here have been next to none. Anything I've asked for, they've done, and that's what helps attribute to good ice here in any arena event.
We had the women's last round robin session this afternoon on the TV. We could see if anything was curling maybe a tad more. Did you make any changes today?
Yeah, so the big thing is that what we deal with is when we go for a week-long event like this, it's hard to make sure that we keep the curl consistent from start to finish. The big thing is we control that by obviously texturing the rocks prior to the event, and to avoid texturing the rocks halfway through, we have to make sure that the shape of the ice is flat, and we also want to make sure that we're not clipping too much off that or nipping what you'd see in your curling club. The big thing is our number that we strive for in arena events. We don't want to get to 2 ounces too quick, so the lower we can keep it, the more consistent it is. There's more room to add curl at the end of the event. So today we had the opportunity to finally see what it was going to do, and we got closer to that 2 ounce mark today, and that's what added that little bit more finish there.
So that's just clipping more off the pebble, getting a little more surface area, a little more friction?
Yeah, exactly. We're actually getting less friction, so there's more surface area touching. So the big thing with the clip is there's a fine line. We can take too much off and the pebble won't last for the entire game. So this morning we started to increase it a little bit, and we're watching the times. We're taking split times all morning, and we noticed that the speed didn't really depreciate a whole lot. So again, we stepped it up a bit more for this afternoon's game to see where we could actually be at. And the biggest thing is as we get less sheets during the event, the ice tends to become colder. And then with that, we also get straighter conditions because we also need heat in the ice and heat in the building. So with being able to clip where we are now, it gives us a lot more room to make sure that tomorrow's games are going to stay consistent.
There's more people in this evening as well. Does that affect anything?
Not overly too much. At the end of the day, if it was a full house, I would say yes, but the building's set up quite well, and as I said, the air handling units here are set up so perfect for us that none of the heat from the crowd actually gets into the surface. It's what we generate in the atmosphere in the building ourselves, so it won't be an issue at all.
We've heard Laura mention a few times, if anything, the pad seems very level. You're getting curl in towards the center, out towards the wings.
Yeah.
The only patterns we've maybe seen is one side curling a bit more than the other, and maybe the center line slightly peaked?
No, actually, so
or is it the other way around?
Actually, what happens, so normally in these 5-sheet events, it actually makes our job a lot harder. If you notice, there's on sheets A, B, and D and E, there's a foam divider separating those sheets, and there's carpet on each side. If you actually take notice, all those straight spots were on the carpet side, and that's because we don't get the pebble overlap from when we're pebbling, because we have to overlap the sheet to keep a consistent surface. So that's the biggest thing, is that this week it's actually been, it's kind of like a unicorn scenario. Normally we don't have low edges, and that's what creates that straighter path on the outside. So it's been nice where I've been able to slowly build it up. But the big thing is that it's just like clipping. You don't want to make too big of a change all at once, because that's how you lose control of your surface before the end of the week.
So you've been trying to fill it in a little bit.
Yeah, we gradually do it. We don't want to make too big of a change in a hurry, because if we overdo it, all of a sudden, instead of curling maybe 4 feet off that side, that straight side, we could jump it up to 6 feet and not be able to get it back. And then you get swats in the ice, you'll get a straight spot around the 4 foot, and then it makes it tougher on the players. So everybody knows that it's maybe a bit straighter on that side, so you don't want to make too big of a change. And we try to maintain the side that's divided with just foam in between A and B, so that it doesn't get too drastic as well.
Consistency is the key.
Yeah, it is. And that the big thing for us here is that we do have time in between draws to work on the ice to make sure that we're keeping an eye on it. and that helps out a lot too, because there's a lot of events that we do in the world that we don't have time in between, and things build up and we can't get to it, and then that's where you see the ice start to slip away on them.
Well, thank you so much, Sean. I think you and your crew have really provided some excellent conditions for the players, and they're playing their best curling maybe of their lives because of it. So.
Oh, it's been a pleasure to be here, and thanks for having me up here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Kan gå her.
Kan godt ta den, altså.
Ja, jeg liker den.
Ha litt stemme, altså.
OK, 13 da.
Ja. Hvor svart skal det være?
Ren.
Litt løs! Ja, 14!
Ja. Hele veien. Hard.
14 sammen!
Hard. Hard. Kører helt sykt der.
Spill hardere bare. Og
14.
bare spill 13 på siden her.
Jeg ga mye så vi spilte hardere enn vannet da. Pleier å spille 15 her.
You can see Switzerland, Scotland, the other men's semi-final. Switzerland with a huge steal of 4 in the first end.
I do mine pretty well.
That is quite upsetting if you're a Scottish fan at home, but there's still 8 ends left in that one. Ross White and his rink have been undefeated so far coming into the semi-final. They were undefeated coming into the final game last year and lost to Tyler Tardy here on our sheet. We'll keep an eye on that game as well as we progress.
Sorry, that took right off.
Yeah, good. That's all right. Good weight.
Sorry, Alex.
Så kan han rulle fram igjen da.
Bare fart!
Bare 7!
Hold den i gang!
6-7!
Wow. Bare fart!
6-7!
Bare fart! Skal 4-5! Skal 4-5!
Ok, da, bra.
No bounce!
5.
Kan ikke bounce, kan ikke bounce.
Nå er det på bounce. Litt bounce. Det blir litt
Yeah, some great insights from John Wall.
Bra der, Mikael.
Again, we appreciate just learning a bit more about the ice and what works goes into it. I was even on the crew once for a championship, and those are long days.
Yeah, he's here really early in the morning and here very late at night. Just doing a great job here.
Down to Skep Rocks in this third end. Vital for Norway to be the next team to score. As we see Tyler Tardy just lining up this run back.
Yep! Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Can he get both the yellows even?
Yep!
Oh, does it spin? Does it spin far enough? Urging this one to go out the side door. It does. What a shot by Tyler Tardy. He switched on this evening.
Those are the kinds of shots you're going to need to make if you're going to win this championship as a skip. Great shot.
It's almost like he got help there from the yellow touching the red first, coming around the horn, so to speak, getting the extra spin as it spins out the side door. Very lively rocks and obviously very quick ice. Those shots are possible, not always possible at your home club.
No, your rocks can get pretty worn down at your home club and you just don't get the same kind of action off of them. Like you just said, they're not as lively as we would call them.
Well, demoralizing for Norway to see shots like that just being kicked while they're down here.
Yeah, it probably felt like they had something going there with 2 yellow ones in the rings.
Still, this chance to come around this wide red. Pretty good attempt here. Just not sure if they could get that fully buried.
No, that they're almost running out of rings there as it is. And it's still wide open, so pretty tough to get buried in behind there, but a good effort. At least put something in the view for Tyler Tardy. You see it's probably at least a piece under that guard.
Same weight as last then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just pure?
Yeah, same as last.
Can probably give you, that's probably still max weight.
Max weight?
Yeah. You like that ice?
I like
It should
that
look
ice.
close.
Yeah, that looks close.
Go less.
Weight's good.
Whoa,
Less
whoa,
than
whoa,
last
whoa,
then.
whoa. Whoa.
Close.
Off. Alex. Alex.
Alex.
Hard, buddy. Come on, Alex.
Hard, Alex. Dig. Get it over there.
Hard, Alex.
Get it over there. You got it. Come on.
Got to go.
Come on.
Hard,
Go,
hard,
go,
hard.
go, 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 go. Okay.
Wow.
A little heavier, maybe?
Well, you could see the draw for Norway didn't finish as much the last 10 feet.
Sorry.
Maybe Tardy getting caught out.
And we
the
also
same
saw,
path.
we were talking earlier about the intern for the Norwegian skip, which he would have just thrown there to the wing versus Tyler Tardy's out turn, being a left-handed player. And Magnus's intern was curling as it is, and usually a lefty's out turn will be a little bit straighter. So maybe just getting a little bit tricked as to where to put the broom or overthrowing it a bit. But those are tricky spots to play to.
Well, there's a couple of unforced errors from Magnus Ramsel to hand Canada the 4-point lead. Now Tyler Tardy with an unforced error as well. And Norway can score a 2 back. We still have a game on our hands here.
4 sånne poeng til, så har jeg gjort opp for andre. Bra, gutta. Fortsett.
Yes.
4-2, the score. Canada leads it after 3 ends
For the
here.
record, I got 14-7-5 on his first draw around the corner. So it's sliding pretty good out there.
Yeah, I was just like 2-3 inches wide, eh? Yeah, a little full, and it just really didn't do anything.
Bare fart.
Litt opp.
Litt tight.
Jørgen, hold litt hvis du kan.
Må på fart. Ganske tight. Jørgen, ja. Hold den, Jørgen. Hold den. Hold den, Jørgen. Kom igjen. Kom igjen. Kom igjen. Vi må litt lenger ned. Kom igjen, bare gå på fart. Gå på fart. Gå på fart. Kom igjen. Kom igjen. Kom igjen. Ok, bra der. Bra der.
$50 still?
Yeah, 50.
Line only.
Line's good.
Line's good. Top
Line's
8.
good.
Over curling a hair. Weight's perfect. Top 8.
Line's
Okay,
perfect.
we're there. Line's real good. Maybe Matt a little bit. Yep, yep.
Center guard by Norway. Horvath is coming around, top 8. Nice weight control.
That's really nice to keep it a little bit higher in the rings as well, so that if Norway does make a freeze on it, it's quite high in the rings and not quite as usable. You just don't cut down your scoring area quite as much when you leave it higher in the rings like that.
Bare fart. Fin linje. Nydelig linje. Litt tight. Nydelig linje. Ren da. Ren. Kjørte veldig mye. Bare fart. Få den der. Ja, kom igjen nå. Kom igjen. Helt ned. Helt ned. Litt til, litt til, litt til.
He's had a good start to the game. Andreas Horstad would have liked that to be fully frozen though. Leaves quite a lot of room for Canada to draw and sit 2 as they now choose to split the rings.
Looks pretty good.
I think that's there.
Also a good start to this game for Alex
I
Horvath.
think we're close.
Gotta be 7 at least.
Seen it run
Mine's good, guys.
anything a tad quicker sometimes to the wings.
It often does, yes. Doesn't get as worn down as it does to the middle with all the sweeping that happens with those shots that consistently come in towards the center. Usually you see it just slide a little bit better out to the wings. And that's perfect positioning. Get that behind the tee line so that Norway can't play a hit and roll off of it and be in front of the tee line. At least now if they make the roll, it's a little less dangerous back behind the tee line.
And the way this is set up, Norway really needs to make a really good roll. Canada will be quite happy to hit and roll back to the wing. Just leave those red stones separated. This is looking pretty close. Rolls to the back four. Forces Canada to make the roll back.
Same weight you've been giving us.
Okay, throw it well. Just right, weight's good.
Matt Hall made the move across the country.
Yeah, Matt's originally from Ontario and represented Ontario at the Canadian Juniors for a couple of years before teaming up with this team here out of British Columbia. And in Canada, you can't have an out-of-province player in juniors. So while you're allowed one free agent in the men's and women's play, you can't have any in the junior play. So he actually did make the move all the way across the country. And it seems like that move has worked out pretty well for him here in a World semifinal.
Well, Scotland, they have clawed back with a 3 in the third end. So that game, again, just very open.
Yeah, you had to know that the best team here all week wasn't going to go down without a fight after that 4 points early. 10 ends, long time with that 5 rock roll.
Lots of points scored in the first 3 ends in both men's finals, or semi-finals rather.
Kom igjen, få den bedre enn den andre. Bedre enn den andre.
Just wrecking on the center guard, actually. That wasn't really in play. That was a very soft release by Jørgen Myhrland.
A lot of these teams won't be all that used to playing on this arena ice, where you do need to have a little bit more of a positive rotation on your throws in order to hold them a little bit straight for most of the way, and then they make their break a little bit later. If these start curling early on you, there's just no way to hold them.
Well, it just came off from winning the Norwegian Men's National Championship just before coming here to Canada. They'll actually represent Norway in Lethbridge for the Men's World Championship as well. As we see Matt Hall with a beautiful double on those yellows. But as I was going to say, that at the Norwegian Championship didn't curl much.
No.
So just to go from one tournament where the ice is kind of straight.
Good.
And then to come here where it's curling almost twice as much, it's sometimes hard to make that adjustment.
Yeah, and sometimes when you do play on ice that's really straight, you start to actually change your release in order to find some curls. So you purposefully throw it a little bit softer in order to get curl, and then when you come on ice surfaces like this, you do what we see here, end up being a little bit soft, and it just curls too much on you.
All soft again here, this time from Mikael Mellemsetter. And 2 reds are now just hanging in around that 12-foot. Canada with last stone here. Canada coming around the center guard.
Line's okay.
Ever consider drawing to the wing?
Absolutely, you could draw to the other wing behind the tee line, and my goodness, I don't know how Norway gets out of it. They'll have to play a double over there on the side. You split the rings again, and you can keep it at the back of the house. There's really no opportunity to draw for Norway by coming to the middle. Oh, this is a bad miss there from Sterling. Now staggers the guards and gives Norway an out here in this end.
Obviously didn't expect to come up that short, but even if you're a bit deep, Norway can freeze on you. It really takes those reds out of play.
Yeah, even if you're not deep, even if you just make it into the top 8 foot, because those 2 Canadian stones are just half in the 12 foot, Norway makes one good freeze and you never score those 2 that are at the back.
Exactly.
There's plenty of room to draw to the wing with where that center line guard was as well. It's a 2-point lead here. Canada might have wanted to consider just keeping things a little more simple here.
Oh wow. Gets a little redirect. Actually, quite fortunate there.
Yeah.
As it keeps curling.
I think that might have helped him. That was really curling. Cleaning it as if it maybe picked there, but I think it's just curling in that spot with the way these Norwegian boys are releasing it right now.
Skip said it seemed to pick up something just before it came to the second hog line. Well, maybe.
Maybe.
Shooter!
Nice double and roll away.
Good, real good.
By Sterling Middleton. Even guards those reds a bit.
Good throw.
Yeah, it does guard it enough so that any opportunity there was on a double there is probably now taken away, but if Norway can make a freeze back into this pocket, they don't even have to make it that good. Again, those 2 on the side never score.
Den veien også.
Ja.
Samme som de i sted, da. Må ligge skrått opp på en av dem, så at han ikke har dobbel. Helst ikke ligge midt oppe, da spiller han fort bare en dobbel og sitter 3, liksom.
Så frys, eller?
Frys, ja. Fryse den øverste hadde vært nydelig.
Ja. Litt fart.
Den som er ut.
Det er greit.
See 54% for Ramsfjell. Those early mistakes in the first 2 ends.
Yeah, when you have 2 zeros over just 3 ends of play, that brings the percentages down pretty quickly, but he has still a lot of time in this game to pick that play up.
Well, at the end of the day, it's just the numbers on the scoreboard that matters.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty good shot here. Didn't freeze the top red as they were hoping for, but they're sitting 2 pretty well separated.
You can either leave it or whatever you want.
Yeah, that might not have been the best shot if that rock in the 4 foot for Norway wasn't sitting there, but because that one's there, Canada will have to deal with both of those yellows in order to ever score those back 2.
Wherever you want to put it.
Would it have bumped it, or would it have just stopped at it? Or
I wonder if there's a burnt rock situation.
Stopping here. I'm not sure it would have moved it very much, if I'm being honest.
Oh, should we just leave it there then?
It's your call. I'm good with whatever.
Sorry. Let's just leave it.
Okay.
So probably when you're sweeping at the back of the house there, Team Canada, just touch the rock. Take a look at it here.
Yeah.
Nei, han ikke hva som har skjedd. Nei, sikkert bedre fordi at den lenger ned, da, så får han ikke spille dobbelt.
Fresh?
Tough to see with Tyler's back over it, but just touching it at the end and maybe stopping it is what Tyler was saying, but really that rock looked like it was coming to a stop. I'm not sure how much he affected it there.
Yeah, they could have chosen to maybe fit it slightly deeper, but it seemed like both teams are happy to just leave it where it ended up.
Yeah, it really didn't affect the line at all. Didn't change the shot very much. Maybe it goes another inch or 2. Not sure it really makes a difference in this case.
As long as both teams are happy, you can move on.
In that case, both teams just try to do what they think is fair.
Real close. Close. Yep. Hard. Close. Yes. Hard. Real hard. Whoa. Matt, gotta roll it. Yes. Hard, Alex. Go.
Pretty good shot.
Good shot.
Just trying to stay above those rocks in the back, make it a little hard for Norway to make a play at it.
Yeah, what rolling there does is it just cuts down the rings available for Norway to roll to and still sit second shot. You see there, he only has to, he does have to hit it on the outside, close to that red corner guard in order to miss contact with the back rocks. And then he only has about a couple of feet to be able to roll to and still sit for a second shot. Looks like he might actually try to hit this on the thin side with quieter weight and roll big across the rings, the way that that broom is, but I don't speak Norwegian, Sander.
They're going to roll the other way, actually. Roll to the left
Okay,
as we
just
see
trying
it.
to cross the face.
A little bit dangerous, though. You ever jam, just pick the yellow at the back clean out between the hole of the two reds and leave your shooter.
But you play it the other way and you try not to get too cute with it and you hit it high side and roll out. Tyler Tardy still has a shot for 3.
A little tricky. We saw it. Wasn't curling lots at the end on the wide wing going away. This is coming home on the same side, but this is really curling now for Norway. Is it enough to even kill the red? It is, but it rolls out. And that probably leaves a shot for 2.
Maybe even for 3.
Yeah, this is going to run nice. I think so.
Maybe if you were making it.
Although with a 2-point lead, they might play to just straight pick this and not worry about sticking it around. Yeah, you heard Tyler say just trying to pick it. Ensure there are 2 points here. That's huge to have a 4-point lead.
I would imagine.
Close.
Yep.
Whoa. 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 Yep. Yes. Yep. Yes. Hard. Real hard. Real hard.
Just picking it clean. Wow. Great shot. Another 2 for Canada. It's the game of deuces so far. And luckily for Canada, they've caught most of them.
How I didn't touch one of those 2 rocks, I have no idea.
Good sweep there.
You need to teach me a lesson, apparently.
Yeah, clearly I need to teach you a lesson on how to avoid rocks.
Yeah. Sorry about that guard.
That was kind of bad. Stop hitting the ones that are ruined.
Canada, they will lead it 6-2
Almost a good thing.
after 4 ends.
We had space to pick it out.
We probably could have.
Skal du da spinne og bomme dobler, da? Da blir det vanskelig.
I think it's there too. Line's good. Though. Weight's good. 5-6.
We might need to go back.
It's coming off there.
Whoa. Okay. I just don't think I'm quite getting it out to you, that's all.
That's really curling, eh?
6-2. Canada with a healthy lead here through 4 ends. As we see Alex Horvath just a little tight on the broom, I think, over curling.
Yeah, I did hear him say that he's just not quite getting out to skip Tyler there, which means he's just sliding a little bit tight. Sterling also commented that it is curling there, though, so just probably a combination of a bit of a swingier spot and also just a bit of a tight slide.
Corner guard up by Norway. Pretty wide.
Top 12.
Similar weight.
Should be 6 feet left.
I've seen teams throw those tighter to the rings, tighter to the center line. Is there a...
Good.
It's not a right or wrong,
We want to go
really,
around.
or...
I think that's
so
a
too.
little
No,
light.
but it does depend a little bit on your ice conditions,
I
so
think you're close, guys.
you don't want to bring them too tight to the rings if you're struggling to get a lot of finish behind those corner guards, because it's a lot tougher to bury that way. You also might find an easier time bearing around it if you are a little bit wider, as Norway is here. Gives it more time to come off the center line and more room to work with coming into the rings. But the combination of the two, being further from the rings and wider here from Norway, makes it pretty difficult to put it in a place that Canada can't access it.
Jeg liker det her, ja.
Rullen er vanskelig å få sånn dobbel ned andre veien, så det er ikke noe problem.
Norway's going to ignore those reds, just come straight around the corner guard.
Litt plass.
5, 6,
Wow.
6.
Må vente.
4, 5,
Må vente.
4, 5, 6.
Vent.
5, 6, 7.
Mikael, japp. Mikael. Japp.
6.
Kom igjen, Mikael. Kom igjen. Kom igjen. Ardal, kom igjen, så langt det går nå. Ardal. Litt til. Bra der.
Nice draw by Horstad.
I really like that.
Take the guard, you take the guard.
Yeah.
So 4 semi-finals on this evening. We see Switzerland scoring 2 back on Scotland in the other men's semi-final to lead at 6-3
Okay. Even a heavy draw, like bump it in
against the undefeated Scots.
Puny!
Through the house.
Puny, wait's good!
Through the house.
Puny, there we go. I haven't heard that too often this week. We know the Canadian team, they have their own weight calls. Just
Gotta go.
Is Puny, I've heard Pew a lot. Is Puny maybe quieter Pew?
I think it's lighter than Pew.
Okay, that would make sense because that wasn't a ton of weight there. So maybe Puny is like just through the rings?
Something like that.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah, to ask Tyler about that a year or two ago. He just said he just came up with it to keep things light and fun out there.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing to have something that's different from the norm. Usually if somebody calls a normal or a control, you know pretty much what that's going to be, but could leave other teams pretty confused as to what you're trying to do out there.
That's true.
Kom igjen.
Okay.
Doesn't quite get the roll in behind the corner, but splits those reds and pushes them all back to the tee line. Those can be nice catchers for Norway later on.
I like normal.
Definitely, when you're down 4, you're actually better off leaving some rocks lingering at the back of the house versus trying to kill everything. Especially with the hitting ability of this Canadian team. Sometimes those rocks to freeze to are all you have left towards the end of an end to try to generate a 2-score.
Sorry, man. Good throw.
Okay.
Tighten back it up a little more.
Oh, put in the big gap.
Bakom! 7-8! Ren! Ja! 7-8! Wow! Wow! Nei!
Wow! 8! Mikael da. 8!
Wow! 7! Mikael! Ja! 7! Mikael! Kom igjen! Kom igjen! Ikke videre, ikke videre. Ikke videre.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that was what they called from the get-go, or if they were maybe trying to tap the red rock in the 4-foot and just over-curled going for a plan B, but where it stopped, Canada probably does have a double here.
Right on the nose pretty much, eh?
Yeah, this should run straight, you think?
Yeah.
Will likely lose their rock in the 4-foot, but that's not really a rock that's actually helping Canada all that much right now anyways.
Whoa! Stay with it. Whoa! Whoa! Ah. Okay.
Does lose his redstone, but doesn't remove both of the yellows, so now a pretty good opportunity for Norway to generate a multiple score. that curls up at all, and he at least touches that yellow rock, probably makes the double and leaves his red rock in the rings. Maybe just a little bit excited there for Sterling. He threw a ton of weight. Often when you throw it that hard, you can add a little bit to your extension, maybe put it a little bit back, and it just runs really straight on you.
Bare fart. Split.
Thinks it might be up. The finger goes in the air. A little bit heavier than he had wanted.
Hard, rull den av. Kom igjen. Hack.
Look over here to our women's semifinal games going on here in Liverpool tonight. Russia and China have a back and forth game, and they're tied at 3. And after an early deuce in the second end and a steal in the fourth end with 2 blank ends, Canada leads Switzerland by a score of 3-0. So some great games going on the other side of the arena this evening with our women's semis as well. Of course, both winners will play each other tomorrow in a gold medal game.
A little straighter than you'd think.
I think it's will curl a little bit coming off the line.
Yeah, just fresh here.
Okay, see what the roll at.
Fresh!
Please. Yep. Hard!
Yep. Hard.
Whoa! Yep! Whoa! Yes! Yep. Big roll! Gotta go!
Tough to tell who shot between the 2 rocks in the back of the 12-foot with the edge of those rings.
Sorry about my first one. Well, it's okay.
I would think, though, if it was Norway, Canada might call the double there, but maybe just trying to sit 2. Hard to see.
Så tapper du den dit, så det veldig vanskelig å få den ut. Bare bak 8, bak 12.
Well, looking to just tap the shot stone here back about 3 feet, just straight back, and just try and leave a web of catchers. Might prove difficult to remove the yellow if they make this one perfect. Weight sounds pretty good. Really starting to curl. That's going to really over curl.
Yep.
Just trying to change it up here, but just ends up in nowhere. No man's land.
Again, really struggling with the over curl on these softer weight shots for Team Norway.
This isn't bad. You can even roll out. Fresh.
Coming towards the end of the 5th end here, both teams will have a break where they can check in with their coach. I'm sure the Norwegian coach will bring that up and either offer a slight change maybe in the way that they can throw it, or just advise the team to simply take more ice. No need to change a whole lot here in the middle of a semifinal game, but if they want to start making some more shots, they'll need to open up that broom a little bit.
Clean!
Less than last time. Weight's good.
Whoa! Clean!
Just.
Clean it.
Just.
You're good. Okay.
Sit good.
Kan slå og rulle oppå det drittet der.
Ja, det var det første jeg tenkte på.
Vi får aldri med den der uansett. Altså, det er den netteste måten å sikre og gi bort og ta igjen. Da. Men kan gjøre det samme som Mikael, tappe den hit omtrent.
Ja, jeg skal gjøre det. Det er jo mest offensivt her. Du burde jo få
Men det er også, tror jeg er litt vanskeligere også.
Du burde jo få en sjanse til 1.
Ja, det gjør vi uansett. Den er vanskelig, den er for 2.
Ja, da synes jeg skal prøve.
Ok, tappe den akkurat hit, så tipper jeg han spiller den bare av den. Sånn bak 2. Prøv på samme som Mikael, da. Sånn bak 12-fart.
Bare dytte litt, eller?
Ja, dytte den til bite bak 12, så er det bra. Hva er det? Er det sånn 90? 90 var bak 12 i sted, I hvert fall. Det fant vi ut på en litt dum måte.
Det var bra. Kanskje litt mer.
Essentially the same shot here for Norway. So many rocks in the back 12 there. So they can again just tap this straight back. A lot of catchers. Again, just curling quite a lot. Actually, line wasn't too bad, probably. Just a couple of feet shy weight.
Yeah, and getting this late in the end, pretty tough to score, you know, more than 2 if you don't start eliminating some of those red ones. The other option there could have been to hit and roll off that red rock, roll in front of that wall that we see at the right-hand side of the back of the house, and then hope for your jam that way. By sitting in front of those 2 and eliminating the rock that's in the 4-foot, you might bring a jam into play, and all of a sudden you have a shot for 3. By leaving it at the back, I don't know how you ever really score that sneaky rock that Norway has there at the back side of the 12-foot.
I don't mind the sliver more, but
They were discussing that call first, but
Same weight.
maybe just went for the same call because they figured they had the line.
Paramore.
Of course, making the hit and roll would have opened up the forfeit a bit more. Now they'll be...
Yeah, you'd love to score your multiple here, of course, but you need to score to keep yourself in this game.
Just going to try and roll a little bit of weight, and again, just try and shrink the scoring area. Make Norway think, well, draw or open hit. He will draw.
Confident.
I just played the path here. Almost throw the same weight.
Yeah,
they were sweeping it coast to coast.
The fact that we were switching back and forth, I felt like we were probably close.
Vi har samme is, så hvis den for hard av seg selv, så kommer vi til å treffe den da.
Thinking after a little heavy, they should have the backing on that redstone in the forfeit, just naturally. Always a little tricky.
Yeah.
Always a little tricky to have that in the back of your head.
It's a dangerous last thought to be playing towards the backing or to have that in your mind. Really changes the line. Play to the backing or play the straight draw.
Then again, if you're a little heavy with the extra taking, it should actually end up on that rock. They just need to make that call early if they need it.
That one looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good here. Nice sweep by Mellomsetter and Horstad to bring that to the button. Nice draw by the skipper himself. Norway do score, but it's just the 1. The first end where we haven't seen a score of 2, actually. Canada leads at 6-3 at halftime. Teams will have a 5-minute break.
Four or 5, you should be okay.
First end, unforced error from Norway on an open hit.
It's good.
Should be okay then.
Leaves Canada the chance to set up for 2 and finally draw to score that 2.
Yeah. I got almost.
As Canada picks up a steal of 2 in the second to lead it 4-0. Norway also getting a bit of an unforced error from Tyler Tardy and gets to score 2 back.
For the record, I got 14-7-5 on his.
So in the 4th end, Skip Tardy with the up weight, just trying to picked the yellow out between his own two reds, does exactly that, picks up 2, leads it 6-2 after 4.
And we'll come over here to look at the 2 women's games happening on sheet A and B. Still tied at 3 here for Russia and China. Russia does have the hammer here in the 5th end. It looks like they are sitting at least one, maybe a second one. So China's just trying to figure out how to limit the damage over there. And our men's semifinal, Scotland looking, I believe, to draw in here for second shot, trailing by 3.
Quite positive on it.
Watch the cord there, Alan.
Yeah, good draw weight. Nice shots, good execution.
Don't rip it off this time.
Yeah, definitely plenty of curl. Plenty of curl outside in there. I think Ox's first is moving more than his second for sure.
I thought it was the 4 that was curling after the first 2 items.
What's that?
Nothing? Paying attention to your weight.
Yeah. Always, right? Yeah.
That's the important thing here.
Totally. Yep, good plan.
Dere skårer høyt, så det er ikke noe problem. Bare fortsett. Er Stenene ok?
Ja. Hvis Magnus begynner å virke litt utålmodig, så må du stagge den. Ja.
Nei da. Nei. Ser du sitt, så er det nok for en gang.
Ja, bare force, og så...
Ja.
Comparing the stats here between our 2 teams in this semi-final, Canada does have the edge over Norway, and that shows in the scoreboard. Norway struggled with some of their hits, just at 67%, and they've been over-curling a lot of them, just seeming to be a little bit soft on release and struggling to keep their rocks around in the rings. So Canada with the edge, and they do lead by 3.
Herlig! Kjem!
Litt tight. 2. Linje er bra.
Få den på 2.
Skal ha 2 garder her.
Kom igjen.
Ja, kom igjen.
Kom igjen. Det blir bra. Det blir bra.
If you're just joining us, this is the World Junior Curling Championships 2019 coming to you live from Liverpool, Nova Scotia. Myself, Sander Ulvåg. I'm here joined by the fantastic Laura Walker. It's been 5 ends of fun, more so if you're a Canadian like you. I'm
indifferent up here and just talking about what I'm seeing out there. But there are a lot of Canadian fans in the stands here, being on Canadian soil here. So lots of fans pretty happy right now with this 3-point lead.
Being Norwegian, of course, I'm completely unbiased as well.
Of course.
Little heavy. Matt, you can go.
All we're hoping for is a good game and for the best team to win.
Okay, it's not bad.
All right.
Okay.
See, I don't think that's curling more.
Yeah.
All right.
For the neutral fan, you might hope Norway scores a couple, makes this a little more interesting. Canada definitely with the advantage here.
Yeah, but the Norwegian skip made a beautiful draw right to the button, didn't use the backing there in the fifth end showed a lot of confidence to even call the draw in the first place in that situation. So building his confidence out throughout this game, and still has 5 ends left.
100% for Andreas Horstad. He's been pretty good. Looking for 2 center guards here. Line perfect. Weight not quite there. There's enough, or should I say, not enough space between those. Knowing the upweight abilities of Canada, there might be a double peel on those later on. But for now, they sit in the free guard zone, so Canada ignores it. And Alex Horvath also playing very well with his 98% through 5 ends. Will look to come around. He's had really good weight control.
Keep it going. 4-5. Keep it going.
He's had great weight control, and that's such a key for teams to have a lead that can start the game off and put the rocks in good positions. It really puts a lot of pressure on the other team. For anyone who thinks that lead isn't, you know, they just throw the first 2 rocks, it's so much more important than a lot of people realize. A good lead can win you a lot of games, and a bad one can lose you a lot of games too.
Okay. Bak 4, bak 8.
And the lead becoming just as important for Norway, especially when they're chasing the game. They need to take advantage of the free guard zones, get their guards up. Make sure they're not on the back foot of the ends.
Tight. Good. Backline. Whoa.
Jürgen Myran has also had a couple of over curls. It's been a little bit the story for the Norwegians. They've over curled on a few shots. As we say, just trying to tap the Reds back here. That's a very good shot.
Yeah, really nice to move those behind the tee line. He knows it. Little broom in the air there for his sweepers.
3/4.
Yeah, I really can't think of a shot that Norway's missed badly on the under curl. Pretty much everything for them that hasn't been made has over curled for them. I'm sure they talked about that with their coach there in the 5th end break.
Yep. Whoa. Yes. Hard. Go. Shooter.
See, one. Well, not the second, actually. Missed lane call there. Overswept. An apology from Tyler Tardy.
Sorry, guys. That's fine.
Matt Hall apologizing. Well, maybe he was calling on the sweepers as well.
Yeah, Matt was calling them on pretty much the whole way too. I think right at the very end, both Tyler and Matt said whoa, but realized just a little bit too late that they had held that too straight.
It was so close though.
That's what Matt has to realize. He threw that well enough to make it. Brush it off and move on to the next shot. Just zone in on what he has to do here. Can't carry that frustration forward.
Does curl quite a bit coming this way. This is the same spot we've seen Norway over curl a couple of times. Wow, shaves the Yellowstone top 12 as well as the guard. That was a very cool line call by Magnus Ransfeld, the
very
skip.
nonchalant about that, and it just squeaked it by. Matt Hall will take a second try at this double. I did see Tyler even indicate maybe the triple.
Very close with the first one. And the second, 1, 2, 3, well, certainly gets a lot of granite moving.
Now there's really not a whole lot in front for Norway to work with here. Great for Matt to open up the middle, even though he does leave that yellow rock, as we see here in the 4-foot.
That is good. Pretty precise shooting.
Yeah, to open up the middle there was huge for Team Canada here with the hammer. They want to make sure with this 3-point lead that they leave themselves a shot. They'll want to ask themselves throughout this end what Tyler's shot for 1 is, and if it's not easy, they want to change something about how the end is progressing.
Linja fortsatt litt tight. Og aldri inn.
Nei, det er grenseland, altså. Da er det bare til. Sitt da.
Yep.
Okay.
Some proper thrust out the hag for Sterling Middleton.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yes. Hard.
Huge weight.
Yep.
Does he make the double here? Does it spin all the way out? Well, Jardy putting everything into that sweep. Just enough. That kind of weight, so deadly, paired with the right precision.
Get it out.
So I thought that's gonna fall out there more.
Yeah.
Good.
You got it out, so.
Didn't look like it was.
Whoa. Mare.
Bare fart. Litt plass.
7.
Fin linje. Litt tight. Yep.
Helst ikke.
Coming around the stone top 12 here. And this one seems to be all over the front stone already.
Ingenting.
Again, that semi level softer release. Weight wasn't too awful.
Yeah, I also have to wonder about the first rock that he's throwing, if he's been throwing the same one this whole game. Definitely on his first one, he's had quite a few over curls.
I like this way
we've really
more.
seen the whole Norwegian team over curling. We had John Wall up here, the ice technician, talking about a few of the changes he's gradually made to the ice. There might be a little bit more curl out here tonight, and it's just grabbing those rocks a little bit harder. And when you don't have a lot of rotation, it can just really amplify things, make it go sideways.
Hold on.
When you watch the Canadian team throw, they have quite a bit of rotation on their rocks. Helps keep it a little straighter for most of the way down the sheet and delay the break point.
Touch it.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Uses that one as a catcher.
Just heavy.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little solid, that's all.
Good throw, just a little heavy.
Great pair.
Yeah. So I thought my first one was going to back up a little more than that. I did too. I thought it looked good the whole way. I never thought it was going to cross nose.
No, I didn't either. It's just kind of tricky to call a line in the middle of a forefoot.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Max kind of did the same thing, but the other way. Might be going a little more this way.
Ser skikkelig mye ut, ass.
Ta mindre hvis du føler det er bra.
Ja, litt mindre.
Just hear Tyler Jardy saying might be curling a bit more to the left as we see it now towards the crowds.
Men det er ikke sånn mega mye grått.
Still just discussing the ice, always sharing information.
Yeah, and even being 6 ends into this game, they never stop trying to figure it out.
Litt opp, kanskje.
Andre veien, ja.
Communication on a curling team is so important. You never hear a team say that they feel like they lost because they over-communicated about those things. Usually the problem is that they didn't talk enough and didn't help each other figure it out.
Well, was looking to roll in behind the guard.
Køller er helt annerledes enn for 2 ganger siden.
I mean, it's safer. Yep.
Ends up switching up the call halfway down. Actually ends up making a pretty good roll behind red on the wing.
True.
Also lucky not to fully jam at the back.
Normal, okay. Yeah, I don't mind that.
It's like normal.
Normal?
Yeah.
So Tyler won't worry too much about his shooter here. What he will try to do, though, is to spill the rock that he's promoting.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit into the 8-foot so that they can't come around that corner guard and be shot rock. Really important to stick this one somewhere here.
Close!
Normal!
Whoa!
Yep.
Tyler is playing very well so far this game.
Real hard.
Whoa!
Yes.
Whoa! No. Sit.
Good.
Nice.
That's a great shot.
Good sweep. Sweep.
Rolled into a spot where it forces Norway to play a hit and roll, which is a lot more precise than just a free draw around that corner guard.
Tror du køller mer der? Det er vel omtrent like mye is, men den skal kølle mer der. Burde køle mer der. Har ikke lyst til å ta sjansen med det i hvert fall. Samme fart. Ja. Den var vel nesten 15,5, tipper jeg. Eller?
Ja, det var nærmere 16 da.
Den rullet veldig langt for å være så løs.
Kan du spille 13 hvis du vil også?
Nei, jeg elsker sånn fart. Det er derfor jeg spiller det.
Ja, jeg er enig, ja. Ganske mye hardere. Nei, nære. Mye hardere. En.
Wow, nære. En. Wow. Wow. Videre, nære.
Trying to roll across here.
Litt til.
Just not quite. Good attempt.
Så mye mer, så er den liksom bra nok. Så mye mer.
Canada will look for the bank here with only the one stone in the house. Hit and run, keep last on advantage.
Clean.
Keep that 3-point lead. And with that kind of weight, anything's going to roll out. It is the blank end, no points scored. Here in 6, the first blank end of the game. And Canada remains in control, 6-3.
Good end. Good end. Do that a couple more times. Certainly in the washer?
Yeah.
Okay. Out turn?
Of course.
Okay,
Dude,
sweet.
What have I thrown literally all week? It's like 85% of the time this week.
Bare fart!
Hold det, Jørgen.
Bare en.
Ja, 2-3.
3 da.
Aldri 3.
3 da.
Ja, 3.
3 da. Få den 3.
3 eller 1?
Få den 3. Ser ikke
3
hard
eller
ut.
1?
Kom igjen.
2,5 i hvert fall.
Kom igjen. Hard. Bra der. Det er bra der.
Er det litt tight, eller? Det er bra.
Litt rolig bare. Litt rolig. Køla tidlig.
Oh, wait. You have a gripper?
It's up there. Just, okay, I'll be fine.
Looks good.
I got there.
Line's good.
6-3 the score. It's Norway.
5-6.
I got there, guys.
Again, we'll try and
Whoa, right
5-6, we're all
Whoa,
there.
right
put a
now.
lot of rocks into play.
Okay.
Get those center guards up. Try and force
Don't
the
want
play.
As long as you can.
Ryan.
Almost
around the
T-line.
fourth.
Line's fine.
It's catching the curl.
Ideally try and steal.
Okay.
At the very least,
Grind.
force Canada to score a one. Another blank end isn't going to help them.
Okay.
Just makes the game shorter for
Ha den med en
Canada.
gang.
Makes that 3-point advantage bigger.
Yeah, that hammer is so important. Canada will want to try to hang on to it for as long as they can. Have as many ends here with the hammer as they can.
Bare fart.
4. Linja er bra. 5.
Litt plass.
Mer enn 4. 4 fart.
Plass.
5. Plass. 6.
I do understand that this three zone, the forefoot, is dangerous for Norway, but with a 3-point deficit here and not having the hammer, I really think you need 2 centerline guards.
Yep. Tapp litt. Yep.
Instead, playing the freeze here.
Yep. Kom igjen. Veldig bra der. Ærlig.
Just bringing the play into the rings. We saw last end a couple of double and triple
44, so
takeouts by
50 should
Team
be
Canada,
closer.
and everything in the house was gone. They're just so good with that upweight ability. Really need to try to get something out front so that they can't play into the rings.
Little, I think it's lots.
No,
think it's
no, you can
close.
wait. Whoa.
Right now.
Whoa.
Wait's
No,
good.
off. Right off.
5-6, we're almost to the yellow.
Right off.
Well then. Close.
Right off.
Line only.
Line only.
No.
Small bump.
We're to it.
No, right off.
Can't.
No.
Okay.
Oh, sit.
Should be okay.
Fuck.
Sit. Okay.
Good.
Not bad.
That's fine.
All right.
That's good.
Okay. Bakkant.
Bak 8.
Bak 8.
Margin løs. Hold i gang. Bare fart.
Litt ned.
Nei,
Litt ned.
nei, helt av.
7, 8, 8, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9. 8, 9, 9.
Nærmer seg. Mikael. Mikael, kom igjen.
Kom igjen.
Kom igjen.
Kom igjen.
Kom igjen, litt til. Bra der.
Good
Bra,
effort
Jørgen.
by Jørgen Myran.
Yeah, the angles right now are pretty good for Norway.
Throw it well.
Keeping 2 yellow stones in front of 2 red stones.
Yeah, I like that.
Clean. Yep.
Oh, I think you got it.
Hard. Yes.
Looking for the straight peel. This one is curling off the center line.
Good throw.
No
Nice.
problem there with that kind of weight, though. Big sweep from Alex Horvath.
Good one.
Right up. Finish that.
It's nice peeling corners.
What a
and
guard.
you just take no ice and sweep it.
2. Bare fart.
Litt rolig.
Bare fart.
1,5. Bra.
Litt tight.
2.
Bare fart.
2.
Se hard ut. Bare fart.
2,5.
Helst bare 2. 3 hvis den er nære.
2,5.
Nei, linja er bra.
2,5.
Linja er bra.
Gå litt på linje, eller?
Linja er bra.
Nære 3.
Linja er bra. Linja er bra.
Herlig.
Bra, Jørgen.
Okay. Throw it well.
Clean. Clean. Yep.
Just keeping it pretty simple here, Canada. Just peeling that center guard. They are lying 2, so I guess they know Norway's going to have to make the first move.
Yeah, Norway will have to come make a play in the house eventually and can't wait too much longer to do it. And once they do that, it should be pretty wide open for Canada to blast something. I don't think Canada will be too worried about losing their rocks that are in the forefeit there. They're more concerned about opening things up.
2. Det är samma så lider det ganska bra.
We know what kind of weight they can throw. If the play comes into the house, the blank's not out of the question yet this end.
Andreas, ja, vi starter.
2.
Ok, linja er bra.
2.
Samme linje.
2. Nære 3.
Ren.
Nære 3. 2.
Ren. Ren.
Ren. 2.
Ren. Litt tight. Ren.
3.
Ren.
Nære 3. Nære 3.
Norway choosing to throw one more guard here.
Ren.
See Canada peel it again. And then on Mikkel's last rock here, might see them come into the rings and try to tap something around.
Bra, Mikael. Herlig.
Our angles are brutal.
I know.
We peel the guard, it can get that easy.
Maybe we have a chance at a blank if we peel.
Running out of rocks.
Do you think maybe like run and like
Yeah, I was
pick off
thinking
the
run
top
it.
one?
Can we go like three
We got
quarters?
time. Come take a look.
Yeah, go look.
That looks pretty good. Like this at all? Like just get either or?
I don't want to do this. I think we kind of have to. We're shot 2 right now.
True. The only
go
thing
here,
is, he probably has
this.
that, right?
Yeah. Could always just go here. But then he just hammers this one. Let's peel and...
I like the peel.
Yeah. We should have a shot for one at least.
Yep.
I like their thinking here. They're up 3 points. The shot that Tyler was calling is great if it's made, but it's such a precise shot if Sterling bounces off at all.
It's really not lined up
Or
well. We're
doesn't
just
quite
peeling.
get there.
I mean, like,
Leaves quite an opportunity for Norway to use those yellow rocks that are sitting in front of the Reds.
Okay. Okay.
we're sitting 2, like he makes a play, lead blast, it's open for 1.
Yeah,
Exactly.
At least. Okay.
Yeah, make
Run
Norway
dead
make the
straight for ya.
precise shots. You got the lead here. You have control.
Yep. Hard.
Just clean.
Clean.
I think that's good.
En til.
Ja. Like igjen.
Helst litt høyere.
Ja.
Norway's going to throw even one more center guard here.
I think after hearing the conversation that Canada just had, even on Sterling's first one, they were considering coming around and playing a freeze. You would have to think if you're Norway that if they throw one more guard, then Canada might certainly come into the rings after discussing it on the last one. So might be getting a little bit late here. As we said, Canada is still sitting 2. Norway will have to move these somehow in order to have a chance at stealing. Throwing another guard, you could just get in your own way. Yeah, Canada knows that
Just play the intern.
Norway maybe just hoop themselves here.
I really like that.
Want to call time?
I really...
Okay. I'm just worried if we guard, he plays the intern
Tyler
and maybe
calls the
raises his
timeout.
red yellow into the button.
Yeah,
Just
it's true.
plays this.
They'll have 60
Yeah.
seconds to interact with their coach Paul.
He's just got too many ways at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got red right now is all.
I mean, this is probably a harder shot.
For him,
Yeah. Like we could just grip and hope he doesn't make this perfect.
even if he does
Maybe
make
this
it,
one will spill out.
even if he does make it perfect, you still probably just make the double and roll over, and at least we're scoring.
Are you thinking like
Rip it.
across?
No, we're thinking just
oh,
rip
just
it
rip
right
it
now.
again?
He probably never guards again after this, right?
I don't think so.
I don't mind peeling it.
No. Yeah.
Well, I'm
Well,
worried
he's
if
just-
we
he's
make
just
the
playing the
guard and
intern
he does
tap ball.
this.
Yeah.
I know.
Right?
You're
Like,
You want to just rip and
I kind of...
hope we have a shot?
Do we have to mess with that one?
What else do you like?
I just don't want to not peel it and regret it because it's blocking this. I just don't want to not peel it and regret it.
No, but I'm saying, why don't we blast the one, even if you jam it cross face it here, leave the 6 there,
Just like this.
boom, stuff it.
We could probably kill
Well,
it.
what can he make that's really good if we just peel, Paul?
No, but kick it across the top, you leave that there. Sure, he plays yours, but at least
Do
you'll
we
have
not
sort
try
of
to
a shot.
stick this here and kill the 6 and it's wide open?
Well, you can take the 1 across the top, right?
What are you afraid of him making if we just peel?
If you just peel, he's going to play the tap here.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Then
you
we
got-
guard.
Then you have nowhere to go.
No, because then he still just
It's a
plays
pretty
that.
scary guard to throw.
The guard I don't love.
I don't hate throwing this hard and just killing the 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't... If you can do it like...
Isn't it just as easy to pick it and like just wick that and...
I think the guard brings the steal in too much.
If you hit like 7/8, there might be a chance that we keep our shooter and this
Or you
one.
probably
which
never
is
keep
pretty
your
good.
shooter.
I think we probably kill the 4 as well.
Yeah.
If you're sure the 6 goes, I like playing
I'm
this.
confident the 6 should spin out.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
If you're not, then I think you just pick it.
Yeah, if you're
I
not, then
don't
I
love
think
the
you...
pick. He's just going to draw here.
Well, no, not pick it,
Well,
but
actually,
like
that's not
you gotta
bad.
touch
Then we-
the 6.
then
So
we
let's
blast
pick
right
it, and if we touch this on the way by,
Yeah.
whatever.
I think you want to touch
your
it and
throw,
get the red out of there.
Yeah, I think we pick it across.
Yeah, I
If we
agree.
touch this and move this around,
If you
whatever.
touch it and it
Yeah.
sits right there, I don't know
You
what
guys like
it
this?
is.
Just
I think
touch
so.
it.
Pretty thin. You like this, guys?
Yeah. Yeah, I like
I
it.
don't hate hitting it too thick, though. Like,
Okay.
You just don't want to get
Well,
stuck
those
right
are
here.
two very different shots.
Just,
like, I mean...
Just commit to one and don't get caught in between.
Yeah, like, we have ice to pick it, so that's good.
Yeah, pick it, and if you tickle the back too, that's perfect.
Quarter probably tickles
Quarter's,
it.
Good.
Okay.
Tyler Tardy made a comment we've heard earlier in the week, said, I don't want to not peel the guard and regret it, which he said against USA, and I believe...
Gave up 3 that end, yeah.
It's a little bit different. I believe they played a draw.
Yeah, he said, I don't want to throw the guard and regret it. They guarded a situation in the rings with a 3-point lead and gave the only chance for the United States to get a multiple, which they did.
Good, really good.
What they did here actually worked out very well. They removed both of the yellow stones from in front of their red stones and actually kept one of them around in the back of the rings to keep their multiple score in play.
That's really good.
Yeah, Norway just over curling with their guard, allowing that shot for Team Canada. Again, just the over curl on the draws for third Mikkel.
Vi kan stjele fint 2 på den der da. Rulle opp på. Kan fint stjele 2 på den. Lurer på om jeg liker den.
Our 2 women's semifinals, you can see there, Canada has a big lead of 5-1 over Switzerland playing the 7th end. And Russia is up 6-4 over China also in the 7th end. And Russia will have the hammer.
Den røde ligger bitte litt høyere. Så treffer vi halv stein, så ruller vi liksom av egen, dytter den litt bak her, og så ruller vi opp sånn skrått bak der. Så det er 3/4 til tjukk hals, så er det ganske bra. 15. Ja. Den spilte sist i forrige, var det sånn 15-5 eller noe?
Ja, sånn litt hardere. Det er nesten fortsatt litt mer. Ja, det er bra. Bra fart. Ja. 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 Wow.
Mare.
Mikael da.
Mikael.
Gå. Egen.
Yep.
Ok. Ja, bra.
Pretty nice roll, but I'm not sure he gets it under the guard there. Does leave a piece open as we take a look at our other men's semifinal.
Okay.
Switzerland leading Scotland by a score of 8-5. Scotland does have hammer here in the 7th end.
Look good.
Like 7/8 with mint.
Kind of hard not to peek over and have a look at the other game.
Yeah, just try and stick
very hard. You want to be, in your zone, but in between shots.
Yeah,
you always want to know who you could be playing or what's happening over there.
Mint. Clean.
Lots of weight.
Whoa. Solid.
Clean.
Solid.
Yep. Whoa. Matt. Yep. Whoa. Matt.
Hard Matt.
Yeah.
Hard Matt.
Really got to go.
Tyler really wants to leave his shooter in front of these yellow rocks. Doesn't want to roll off too far.
It's not bad.
Okay.
Just solid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not bad.
Okay, buddy. Just a little heavy.
Her eller her?
No lid against 2 now.
Her, så har de da...
At least they're not drawing the lid against 2.
Kant 8. Kant 8 er Mikael på senter, så da køler jeg litt over. Hvis vi bare gjemmer en bitte liten flik rundt garden der, så ligger det dritbra. Han har ikke noe dobbelt egen eller noe.
Nei. Husk at han kommer ut fra andre hekket, som kanskje skjer litt mer da.
Ja, det er sant.
Bare tenk på det, liksom.
Not sure if he's just straight guarding this or trying to put another one in there to lie 2.
Ja.
40 går?
40 er bra.
It's just a draw.
Føles litt heavy ut ennå. Ren!
Linja er bra. Litt tight. Nei, linja er bra.
Actually just a guard.
Litt tight.
A little tight for line again.
Linja er bra. Hold den i gang. Litt tight. Litt tight.
I need to leave it and get a little roll or rub, but they don't.
Sit.
Just over curls by maybe an inch. And Tyler Tardy,
He looks good.
You like that ice?
left-hander, would
Send
see
it out or hair more.
just
I like
a sliver
this,
more than a right-handed player.
It looks tight.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to move this all that far
like
to score
that.
his 2. Just has to move it out of the forefoot. You saw a shot like this earlier where it was just off the center line. That makes it a little bit easier to access than when it's right on
You like
center.
that ice?
I would
I
say
think it's
max.
minimum. Oh, all right.
Okay. I like
Okay,
it.
I think it's
One
real
thinks it's
close.
minimum, one thinks
I
it's
think this
maximum.
should be
It's
fine.
probably pretty close.
Weight's good.
Clean.
Making this
Just
shot,
through.
you're
Whoa.
Whoa.
Just
Close.
through.
maybe in the
No.
gold medal
Whoa.
game already.
Matt. All day, Matt.
Well,
Come
this
on.
one is hanging wide, Matt. Hall is doing everything he can to try and make
we're
this
back.
curl and get to the yellow. It's not going to. A steal of 1 for Norway. That's a huge point swing, and this game means Norway are still in it. It's a lifeline. Still trail Canada by 2.
3 omganger igjen. 3 stjelinger til. 3 omganger, 3 stjelinger.
3 ends, 3 steals, he says. That's the plan.
I like he's just got to trust the ice he gave himself.
Gerolf nå har ingenting å tape.
Bare fart.
Jørgen,
1.
Jørgen.
3 er greit. 3 er bra. 3 er bra. Helst høy. Helst høy. Helst høy. Køler over. Ser grei ut, altså. Ser grei ut. Ren hvis dere kan. Ser bra ut der. Bra, Andreas.
Den sakka vel?
Ja, den sakka litt.
Okay, 50.
Yeah, throw well. We just go in top 8?
Yeah, just full 8.
There's a lot of deuces scored in the first half of the game. A couple of singles, a blank. Clear that just Canada is trying to protect their lead more than anything, trying to keep things open.
Yeah, you'll often see that in a game. One team scores a lot of points early on, and then the other team seems like they're kind of creeping back, but it's more to do with the strategy that the team with the lead is calling. They don't want to take any major chances that they took earlier in the game to generate those multiple points. Here they're just going to keep it open and either make sure they can score their 1 or know that, you know, a steal of 1 is not the end of the world.
Yeah, scoring 1 here would be pretty huge for Canada. They'd be 3 up. They could even give away 3 in the 9th end and be tied coming home, which is maybe all you hope for in a game like this. As we see, both leads are throwing some tremendous numbers.
Fin linje. Bare fart. Nydelig linje. Nydelig linje.
Andreas Horstad also
Nydelig linje. Litt overkøl.
one of the
Litt
youth
tight.
Olympians here this week.
Helst Jørgen.
Køler litt over.
Jepp, jepp, jepp. Hold litt lenger. Jepp, jepp.
Gå igjen,
Ok,
litt
bra,
til.
bra,
Also
bra,
one of
bra.
3 guys from the village of Oppdal in Norway,
Okay, I think freezing it's just as good.
which has produced
It's like a lot of ice. for a
lots and
bum.
lots of curling players.
Freeze it, I think
Okay,
it's just as good.
I believe the Scots brought the Scottish railway workers brought this sport to Oppdal many decades ago, and it just kind of stuck.
And a few other top curlers, I believe you said, were from that region as well.
Yep.
We're just to the red.
The ones who
Room.
maybe most known to people nowadays is the team of Stefan Wallstad that's represented Norway at the last 2 World Championships. 2 of the guys on that team from Oppdal, himself included.
Okay. Good.
Nice start there from Team Canada. Have 2 in the middle, and they're right in line with each other. So Norway's just going to try to tap these around, maybe stagger some rocks to use here at the front of the house.
Horvath has just had fantastic weight control, making it really hard for Norway to really get in there.
Yeah, that can be frustrating as the opposition when you're just waiting for that one small window that the other team might leave you and the other lead might leave you to start the end, and Alex just hasn't given them anything here.
Hanging a bit wide here. Really needs to shuffle these reds around a little bit.
Okay.
Let's shuffle them a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
3/4 looks close, Matt.
2/3.
Can I see a hair more?
Matt Hall does have the edge here at the second position, also having himself a great game. We've seen him make some really big doubles in the middle, keep things open for his team.
Okay, buddy.
That's fine.
We do have another semi-final going on here tonight for these junior men. Scotland with the deuce back in 7 closes the gap, and Switzerland will lead 8-7 in the 8th end.
Okay. Enten eller her. Jeg liker denne. Mye mindre marginer, men jeg liker det.
Må prøve. Perfekt nok.
90. Andreas. 4-5. Andreas, ja. 4. Ja, 4. Hold bare fart. Må gå. Hold bare 5. Må gå. Hard. Linje. Hard. Fire. Kom igjen. Litt til. Hard. Kom igjen. Sprett den av. Viktig. Kom igjen. Litt til. Bra kosta.
What's this now? Half?
Almost hit it in the same spot, really, I think.
Half a rock looks close, buddy.
What?
Half a rock looks close.
You have the 3 players down there on these last 2 rocks. All of them are kind of guessing at how much of this top rock Matt Hall needs to hit to make the double. I think they might just want to kneel down and double check with Tyler what he's seeing before they throw it. Always important to have everyone on the same page with these shots. Great shot by Matt Hall. Guess it didn't matter.
That is so good.
Matt's made a few of those this game. You can tell he's very focused, very intense, really wanting to make everything here in this game.
Enten ser vi den, eller så spiller vi sånn.
Now, not a whole lot for Norway to work with for a
Den er på
steal.
stjeling eller force, den er bare for blank.
Erik, den ikke.
Bare fart! 9! 9 er bra, 9 er perfekt! Ja! 9! Hard! Helst ikke! Hard! Bare 10! Hard! Kom igjen! Lang gå i da.
Looking to come around everything, but again, that overcurl you've seen so many times.
Yeah, again on that in turn, and actually the way he ticks that red rock lines them up perfectly for Canada. It would be tough for Norway to ever hide behind those.
I don't mind that.
Okay, buddy.
Away?
Yeah.
Okay, buddy. Let's make a good roll here. Okay. Fresh.
Yeah.
Nose is fine, though.
Yeah, nose is fine.
Again, Canada with the edge. Sterling struggling a little bit with draws, but really hasn't thrown very many. I can only think of a couple that he's thrown in this game. Certainly not hurting his team out here. Still has a 5% edge on his counterpart.
Hard, Alex.
That's fine, bud. I think that's fine.
Yeah, oh yeah. Don't see how it's not good.
Canada does sit 3 now here with the hammer in the 8th end with a 2-point lead.
Men jeg liker den. Da ruller du før, da. Ja, jeg liker den.
Så bra ut. Jag bara lukta i det.
Litt hard! Ganske hard! Nære 15! 15! 15! Jørgen! Prøv. Kom igjen. Nære, kom igjen litt. OK.
He's wanting to keep those yellows lined up. There's an angle now. You might see Middleton throw a bomb
See a
down
little bit
here.
of ice, Tyler.
Catches it here high. You might see quite a few rocks fly.
This might move a bit.
Such a trustful kick.
Yeah, he's not a big guy, but he can sure generate some weight out of the hack.
Maybe just put a little too much hot sauce at the end there on release. Just set it back slightly.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, but still a pretty good result. Compared to the last end where there were some guards out front. You see his release here, trying to add right here at the end, a little bit quick on release, adding it all at the end and just put it back a little bit. You see that rock actually started on the center line, and here by the time it hits, it was well off the center line, so that would just indicate a little bit of a back release. But really not a bad result. Canada, like we said, just wants to make sure they have an open shot for their one here. They'd hate to give away another steal. So now the forefoot's open. Should be no problems for Tyler Tardy.
Norway's going to try and hit this red and roll away. They know there's a chance they leave a double, so they want to make that as difficult as possible.
Jep, andre veien. Jep. Wow, jep. Wow, nei.
Well, definitely a double on for Tyler Tardy. You'd expect him to be pretty close with this.
Yeah, he's been close on pretty much everything this game so far. Can make the double and blank this end, take hammer into the ninth end.
Big a half-inch score.
Yep.
Pretty big advantage.
For you here.
There we see Tyler definitely having the edge on Magnus at his 84% to Magnus's 71. Magnus was struggling early with some over curls. A couple of zeros early in the game made the difference.
There you go, 1 and 2.
Really nice.
Yeah, feeling it. We're good. Go.
Never in doubt.
Nice. Called off because I thought we were sticking in that
Like,
point. Holy smokes.
15, 16 with that weight, yeah.
These few run backs like that too. Like it
Pretty frustrating to look at a clean sheet before your last one. There's just nothing to work with, nowhere to hide. If you're Norway.
Yeah, and they've had something cooking a little bit these last couple of ends, but the big weight ability from this Canadian team has just taken both of those ends away.
Yeah, and just the rock placement by the lead Horvath is just making it so hard for Norway to really set up any kind of pocket or just really get anything into the forfeit.
Yeah, Norway's constantly chasing in this game, and that's always a tough feeling, especially when you're down 2 without the hammer.
Jeg liker fortsatt eneren først, få litt sånn samme opplegg, 1 og så 2,5. Så hvis vi kan få den eneren så høyt som mulig.
We'll be looking for another blank here.
Clean. You're good. Clean it. Nice.
There you go. Another blank on the board. Canada quite happy to again just keep their lead. And that last one advantage, it's been working for them. Gave up that 1 steal, but 2-point lead, 2 ends to go. Looking very much in control here.
litt timeout den veien der, så får du mer tid på å tenke. Men 1, 2,5. Jeg liker egentlig veldig godt å dra rundt, sånn som når de ligger sånn skrått opp hverandre, for de kommer til å pile gardene, da får vi chappe på siste. Så ligger vi... Bare fart!
Bare! En mål!
Tight!
En mål!
Tight!
En mål! Nå er det 2.
Oda.
Ja, 2.
Ah, sitt. Keep.
2 ends to go in this men's semi-final, Canada-Norway. Such a great start for Canada, up 4 after 2 ends.
I think we can go.
They've just kind of kept that lead.
Hard line of it.
Very good front runners, Canada, even with the 5-rock rule. Just very good at keeping clean house.
Where are we?
And now, maybe a first miss from Alex Horvath. It's honestly the only proper miss we've seen.
Yeah, and if he hasn't been perfect, he's been, on the right side of things. So maybe just slipping onto or just behind the tee line, but having a pretty big lead, that's not the end of the world. But when you have a 2-point lead with the hammer here in the 9th end, the last thing you want to do is give the other team a centerline guard to work with.
Hvis du legger 1, så den dritlett.
Ok, ja, sånt da.
Kan satse på de bommelen da. 1.
So, well, thinking here is Canada might peel that red guard out. You're not allowed to peel your opposition stones at this point of the end, but you can certainly peel your own rocks. Canada might not want to leave it there, so are we thinking, okay, let's guard it. That way Canada can't get to it, but then at the same time they will be grouping all these guards. Might leave a triple even.
Yeah, although with the yellow and red stone that were there originally are kind of right in the middle of the free guard zone, it's really tough for Norway to actually put a guard in a spot where they don't leave a triple or group these stones. So I don't mind their thinking. Might as well at least guard that peels that Team Canada obviously wanted to play. Even Tyler looked at it still with the sliver. They can see the team realizing how hard it is and just wanting to get a rock in the rings here first.
Still not heavy though, hey?
I think that's fine.
Line's good. Yeah, it's okay.
Now to make the adjustment for Horvath, but this one seems to be grabbing something maybe.
Yeah, there's not a lot of rotation there.
Not sure what happened to that one. Was that just not enough rotation from Horvath, or
did
that grab something?
Just looked like it had no rotation on it. Did it grab or?
Looked like it grabbed.
I kind of want to give him the benefit of the doubt here, Horvath.
Yeah, it's okay.
You see right there, just kind of stopping its rotation.
A little bit unnaturally sideways. And I took a pretty close look at Alex's release there, and it looked just as positive as he's been throwing it this whole game. It had rotation to start and then just lost it halfway down the sheet, so might have either grabbed some debris or hit a flat spot.
This is definitely the kind of setup Norway was hoping for. Lots of guards up front. Now they need to take advantage, but they also over curling, but this one certainly didn't grab anything. Just a bit shy for weight, maybe a combination of that and a little tight. But certainly lots of shrapnel up front. Norway should have something to work with here. Matt Hall is pretty good, but to make all 5 rocks go here, that's a tall task. We'll see how many he can get. 1, 2. Well, certainly moves 3 of them pretty far to the wings. 1 out of play. That's again just an incredible curling shot by the Canadian second.
Yeah, Matt's had himself a game here. That was not looking so good for Canada. At least now the 2 rocks that are out front are Canadian stones, and they're not staggered. So if Norway does come around here, Canada can actually play a run back if they choose to. The way that everything was sitting before, there was no run backs available at all for Team Canada.
Litt tight. Helst hold den I gang. 8 er bra. Hold den I gang. 7. Hold den I gang. 7. Helst ikke. Hold den I gang. Bare fart. Hard.
Again, a big sweep for line here.
Kom igjen, kom igjen, kom igjen, kom igjen. Få den inn,
Just
få den
gonna
inn, få
rub
den inn.
the guard again. Just the same story over and over again for Team Norway. At some point, they're just gonna have to try and err on the other side.
What is
if
it like
anything,
a third?
maybe
Not the same spot.
undercurl for once.
Yeah, I think that might be a little bit of a factor of not playing a lot on arena ice, not having that experience. A lot of curlers who play a lot on these ice surfaces actually change their release a little bit or know how to throw it when they're losing the rocks like that and having them curl so much. They might cock their handle a little bit more to the side to add a bit more rotation or just be a little bit more aggressive on release. But they have those strategies in their back pocket available. But for this young Norwegian team, as you said, the last time they played was their Norwegian championship on very straight ice, so just might not have that experience to know what to do in these situations.
Another peach by Matthew Hall. I mean, what a game.
Yeah, I might give Matt player of the game here right now for this Canadian team. They've been in some trouble a couple of times, and he's gotten them out of it pretty much every single time he's come up to throw.
Helst bare 1,5.
1,5.
Linja er bra.
1,5.
Linja er bra.
2.
Linja er
Holding his
nydelig.
head in shame a bit here, Medlemsetter.
Køler mye. 1.
I think they're okay. They were looking for a long guard, and
Bra, Mikael.
they do have a long guard, so.
Bra, Mikael.
I just like the 1.
And another look at our other men's semifinals, Switzerland and Scotland. Behind the Swiss skip, there is a score of 9-7. Switzerland does have the lead, and Scotland will have the hammer playing the 9th end here.
Hard to it. No, just clean. Clean.
Clean.
We're good.
Just gonna peel the top one here.
That guard snuck up on me. So that guard snuck up on me.
Samme linje.
Have you noticed how everything matches for Mikael Medlemsetter?
He's a pink broom and pink hair tie.
I wonder if he's got pink laces on his shoes as well.
Maybe, yeah. Actually, I did just notice the rest of the guys have blue brooms there. Maybe it's his favorite color or a lucky color.
Veldig bra.
Bra.
Nothing wrong with being stylish. We've seen Tyler Tardy sporting a few different baseball caps as well this week.
Clean.
Yeah, I wonder if it depends on his uniform. We've seen a red hat from him as well.
Again.
And our 2 women's semis, Russia leads China 7-5 here playing the 9th end. Russia will have the hammer, and Canada with a big lead of 6-2 over Switzerland playing the 9th end. Switzerland will have the hammer. Back at our game, Norway will try to switch gears here and come around that guard that's kind of more of a corner guard, but grasping at straws here, trying to get a steal.
spille samme som med draglinje forrige.
Gjerne litt bak, så sånn litt lenger.
Ja, men da kan han chatte
Coming around the guard this time.
Jeg er ikke så fan av det heller.
Magnus Ramsfjell. A part of a big curling family. His father on the bench today, Eigil Ramsfjell, Hall of Fame inductee, three-time world champion. His uncle, being an Olympic champion back in 2002, also the vice president of the European region of the WCF, so just lots of curling.
And his sister, I believe, was playing in this competition here this week as well on the women's side.
You are right. The sister skips the team. Here on the right, you'll see Eigil, one of the curling greats.
Looks like this goes underneath all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just right about our shooter.
I like it.
There was a few years ago at the World Juniors, there was 4 of the Norwegians on the junior team had a very, very famous family name. Looked very intimidating to, if not the other juniors in the competition, at least the coaches that knew who their fathers were.
Names, yeah.
Yes! Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
They're looking for the double.
Waits again. From Tyler Tardy here. 1-2, rolls away. Just fantastic shooting.
Yeah, and one thing that you can see happen in these games when one team does get the lead is they don't necessarily get sloppy, but they start to become okay with half shots, you know, because you've got the lead. So it's okay if you roll out, or it's okay if you don't quite make the double. Doesn't hurt you, but this Canadian team has not let up at all. They have kept the pressure on and continue to make precise shots throughout the course of this game. Bodes really well to take that forward into a final tomorrow, should they be able to hang on here.
Tidel hardere, eller er det litt for mye på siden her?
Nei, det er bra. Jeg tror det var små.
Ok. Og så på slutten da. Ga den mye.
Det er greit. Litt feil. 7-8.
Skipping his 4th World Juniors. Best result back in 2017 in the Olympic arena in Gangneung. Picked up the bronze medal. He's had a few different lineups. And this draw gets fully buried. Remember, this was exactly the same spot where they scored their 2 early in the game. Norway came half around and missed by Tardy, but this time Canada has the hammer and
yeah,
they will just draw for 1.
Same as greats, 2 feet less is okay.
Like the way they threw in the first kind of a thing? Here, less than that?
Less than that.
Yeah,
definitely 6 feet less than that.
Haven't played too many draws, Tyler, in the last few ends.
No, but he has a couple of sweepers there who just gave him some great information about the speed that he needs to throw. He does have pretty much the whole house. He just needs full 12 here.
I might want to stay on this, Alex. It's really curling.
Oh, this one is really bending on Canada. Can they bring it far enough? Horvath, Hall, power scrub, Middleton, out to help to drag this far enough. They need full 12 foot. They're not going to get there. And it is 1 for Norway, another steal. Wonder if that maybe grabs something as well.
Yeah, I wonder if there's maybe a spot in that part of the ice that the rock is hitting, because it seemed like there was a couple along a similar path that did the same thing, just lost its handle and curled early. The sweepers didn't mind his weight out of his hand.
This one not over yet. Canada leads it 6-5 after 9.
Couple ticks now.
Yeah, I think so.
igjen, ta i, kom igjen. Ja, mange som har gjort det. Han setter ikke noe bra heller da. Setter i skikkelig slapt.
Uh-oh. Andreas Horstad. Lead for Norway. That was a crucial shot to make, to get that over the hog line, to get that guard in play.
Yeah,
he's played so well all game, but
he's got a nice shot out.
He's had a great game so far. Been pretty close on everything.
Sett den strammere, Andreas, så plukker den ikke.
Ja, men den tok den nå.
they're saying that one grabbed something as well. Very peculiar.
Yeah, we haven't really seen that at all in any of these games. We've seen the odd rock that's clearly hit some sort of debris, but nothing that's kind of hit soft spots like this. Maybe, you never know, someone out there might have warm feet. Could be a knee print on the ice.
The last comment from the skep there was just throw just a little more rotation, throw it a little more positive, and it might not grab as much. Saying maybe it grabbed, but he threw the first one quite soft as well.
Yeah, and when you do throw it soft like that, it can lead to it grabbing something. It makes it a lot more susceptible to losing its handle, like we've seen a couple of times. That one thrown nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, 10th end as well. This is maybe when the pebble starts being worn down a little bit more. It gets a little bit more flatter and susceptible to
Just back line. Yep.
whatever.
Susceptible. Yeah.
To those flat spots.
Yeah, these guys are so strong. You watch them sweeping right now, the way that they sweep. There's just no way to avoid the pebble being worn down by them, and they're sweeping. So the spots that get swept more, which tend to be the spots in the middle, those will tend to get a little bit flatter in the middle, and flat pebble combined with a softer throw can really lead to a rock over curling and appearing like it grabs. But I think if these players can be conscious of just keeping some rotation on their stones here, they should be just fine.
Pretty good tick by Alex Horvath, who's able to open up the center line.
He does, but he does impede the draw path there, which would be Tyler's intern coming home. I'm sure they discussed as a team which side they want to leave Tyler should he have to play a draw here. Where that rock sits, it would be right in the way of any draw to the forefoot.
Må begynne å dra rundt den, Norge.
But shouldn't be too dangerous of a rock. Not really usable to bury behind anyways because of how high it is.
Yep. Whoa.
Clean, just
Whoa.
clean.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Clean.
Clean.
Clean. You're good.
Clean.
Okay.
No problems there for Matt Hall. Norway is throwing another guard here into the center line. Another thing they could consider is actually coming around the Canadian stone that's a corner guard, making it tighter. If it is buried, Canada will have no option but to go up and peel their own high guard, and then you can throw a center line guard and you might have two good guards to work with at the end of this end. But that red guard's never really going to be usable for Norway to bury behind. So if you could use it to bury a guard behind, you might be able to get a better guard in play.
I think they're aware, and I think that's a plan. You don't want to wait too long though, because if you wait too long, you come around that guard and you don't get buried.
Yeah, you have no
Canada
other
peels it,
chances.
maybe the time's out, so you might want to make that move soon.
Well, you can fill me in on the Norwegian coming up here, what their plan is.
Ta den nå.
There he goes, coming behind that high guard.
Hjemme 2/3.
Ja.
Glattere der, tipper.
4-5.
Her da.
4-5. 5-6. Kjem i. 5-6.
På køle.
5.
Kommer da, hold den i gang.
7-8.
Hold da.
Skal jeg gå? 8.
Trenger ikke.
This one actually a little bit heavy.
Køler nok.
Make it all the way into the rings.
Ingenting.
It's fully buried. It'll be interesting to see what Canada does here. If they just peel the guard. Yeah, they will. So, end result not too bad for Norway. Still leaves a yellow rock.
Yeah, that rock in the rings could be the one that makes Tyler Tardy shoot against 2. Anytime you're shooting against the game, makes it quite a bit more pressure on the opposing skip.
So discard this yellow and make it into the house with your last one?
Yeah, he'll continue to guard. Tyler will continue to peel as long as it's fully guarded, and then you'll see Magnus try to put a second one in the ring somewhere. Make Tyler think about whether he wants to hit or draw with the scoreboard. You'd imagine he'd probably hit, but Magnus can put this in a place where the nose hit isn't enough for a shot rock. You might see Tyler choose to draw.
Jørgen helst. Jørgen hvis du kan. Jørgen hvis du kan.
Maybe all tight here.
Bare Jørgen hvis du kan.
Calling on the closest sweeper.
Ren. Den ikke noe hjelp hvis den gardet
front end not really wanting to sweep it. Has enough weight.
Ren, det greit å gi dobbelt hvis han ligger kard.
This might be in the house even. Just a nibbler. That's a bit too deep.
Yeah,
knowing what's coming up.
Yeah, exactly. The weight that this team can throw coming that deep leaves a double, and because they're so close together, you can actually roll your shooter off a little bit as well and not leave any guards in play. And then Norway really has nothing to work with.
You don't want to stuff it here and leave the red. Well, it makes a double. Does leave the red, so there's still something for Norway to work with.
Still a nice shot there, though, from Sterling.
Nei, ikke det hele tatt.
Nei. Touch med?
Nei. Alle har vært inne på der, egentlig.
Ja, hvor vil du ha den?
Tidligere?
Okay.
Ja, bak 4.
Ja.
Not taking much more ice here. That red rock is a little closer to the center line than the guard was, I believe.
Yeah, and this is the in-turn that we've seen curl a little bit on Magnus.
Usually a very good draw player. He's usually got that same touch that his father, I was going to say used to have, but even he still has the forefooot in his back pocket.
This one looks pretty good for line.
Yeah, might want to drag it a little deeper here, get some separation. What they do brings it just behind the tee line.
Yeah, with the game essentially on the line, that's a great draw there from
Shooter will get
Norwegian
over there
skip. Bringing it that little bit deeper makes this run back tougher for Tyler Tardy.
Korea sin siste en på nærmere 2017. Da var han ganske lignende. Bet 4-foten, og så var det en som lå topp 4 som måtte han slå rulle på siste. For øynene.
It looks like a hair more ice than you gave him.
It's close.
Okay.
Trying to catch a hair high, put the yellow, maybe even roll the shooter out of play. You look at the draws. Only 3 draws going for Tyler Tardy.
Okay.
Maybe that's why you want to leave him, as he just splits the guard. And interesting little chat there from Norwegian skip Magnus Ramsted. He was thinking back to the gold medal game of the World Juniors in 2017. A little bit similar situation.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
It was the USA playing Korea.
Good catch.
A rock close to the forefooot.
Han ganske mye på den siden her nå, så selv om vi ligger topp 12 i en åpen tek på det, så vil jeg heller det enn å ligge her i en åpen tek på
spot where Korea had to make a hit and roll to win the game, which was made, just barely. And he was thinking, well, let's try the same setup.
Yeah, for Tyler there, although he didn't make the run back, by just peeling it away, you know Norway will come into the rings here with their second stone. If he did make that run back, it was tough not to leave a guard up in front and let Norway come around again. And you might see Tyler with those draw numbers we just saw be a little more comfortable with the hit.
Yeah, just only played 3 draws in the whole game, Tyler Tardy. You would think you would want to leave him that.
I would think so, yeah.
And it is just biting the forfeit, what they're looking for here. Just trying to give it to the sweepers, and then it's all down to Medlemsetter, Horstad, to bring it to the right spot. Not sweeping now, maybe getting into the fudgy slide path here as it's starting to overcurl a bit. Well, it's not in a terrible spot.
No, it's pretty good.
Yeah, look, nose is
Tyler
good.
Tardy not liking the draw.
Looks pretty good to me.
I don't blame him. You need the forefoot on ice. It seems to be fudging a little bit on them, and he's throwing against the game. With this call here, you never lose. Might go to an extra, but...
Well, how much can he see? Is there a lot of room there? You'd hate to throw too soft a weight here and just tickle the front.
Yeah, you look at the broom he's taking. I don't believe he's throwing this too quiet. They did say they could just hit it right on the nose and be shot rock, so no need to take too many risks here. He must be able to see all of it, especially from his hack being a left-hander.
Well, here we go. Last stone 10th then to put Canada into the gold medal game. You're going to have to navigate that top yellow. Also can't roll too far out. We'll have an extra. On and off. Sounds pretty good. Will it sit there for one? It will. Canada in the gold medal game. Kept his cool, Tyler Tardy. Strong performance by the Canadians. An early lead and they've kept it. Norway came sneaking back in, but able to close it out here in the final end. 7-5 win.
Nice. Good throw, Tyler.
And now
great sweep.
Game that.
They'll celebrate, and then maybe also join the crowd to see who they will play in the final. Switzerland still playing Scotland next door. What a chance for this foursome to win gold at home in Canada. Something not many teams have had the pleasure to do.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Actually, the last Canadian team to win at home was skipped by David Hamblin back in 2002 in Kelowna. And we're just going to pan over to the Switzerland-Scotland game. Scotland scoring 2 in the 9th end to tie it. The Scottish boys have seemed to be just undefeatable all week, but came off to a very shaky start, gave up a 4 in the first end. After a blank second, they score 3 back in the third, but they've been trailing the Swiss all the way throughout, now finally tied. And we can see there's a couple of guards up for them as they need to steal the game away from Switzerland. Wow. Some proper cleanup work here. James Craig with quite potentially his last stone of the semi-final. Very unlikely to get an extra end as we are tied here in 10. looking to come around that red corner guard. And he does that nicely. Going to peel the guard here. Marco Hefty has made 2 really good shots here to keep it clean. Also 2 other semi-finals in the women's competition. It was Canada to beat Switzerland. Very dominant game, 8-2 final score. They'll be in the gold medal game. Now just awaiting the winner of the other semi-final, Russia playing China, as they're in the 10th end as well. If you're just joining us at this stage, we have seen Canada pick up a win on Norway to make it to the final. Just giving you some bonus coverage here. Switzerland and Scotland are tied after 9 ends of play rather. Philip Høsvik. Looking for the double, actually jams it, and that spins back towards the forefoot. Well, that might be the saviour for Scotland. They have a rock to guard here. Guard in place from Duncan McFadden. Looking for the run here, and it just jams and actually leaves the shooter as a center guard. I don't know, Laura, was it maybe more important to lose the shooter there?
Yeah, absolutely was more important. If you can get the shooter out of play, there's no guards to work with. Forced to throw another guard for a little while if you're Team Scotland. And if you can continue making those peels, Rocklight will probably come into the rings on his last one. Maybe you have a short double, and if he doesn't come onto the rings, you have a draw to a piece of the forefoot, whereas now Ross can make this one better and maybe get fully into the forefoot, make your draw a lot tougher.
Went undefeated in the round robin, just like last year, but last season lost the final at home in Scotland, in Aberdeen. Might lose the semi-final this time. So tough to go undefeated.
It is. You almost are a little bit scared sometimes going into a semi or a final with no losses. It's just so hard to beat all these teams multiple times. Sometimes that loss somewhere throughout the round robin just gets that monkey off your back and you're not thinking about it.
Well, if my memory serves me right, it's only happened on 4 occasions in the men's. Søren Gran for Sweden, 82. Pia Lindholm, 89, also for Sweden. Alan McDougall for Scotland in 91. Also John Morris for Canada in 98. So it's been a while.
That guard does over curl. Comes pretty much wide open on the other side.
Just looking up at the clock there, I believe both teams have just above 2 minutes each to play here. Shouldn't factor in too much. As we see first of skip rocks for Switzerland and Marco Hösli. Switzerland looking for their first title since 2014. It was Yannick Schwaller winning that at home in Flims. Chasing the shot stone here. Big sweep to keep it past the guard. And leaves it as shot stone. But that might be a problem lock for Switzerland, Scotland. I'm not sure what to do. Either play the hit or draw again.
Yeah, I believe Switzerland was trying to just make a slight roll the other direction, leave their rock in the forefoot somewhere so that it's not really great for Ross White to freeze to because it's wide open and puts a lot of pressure on Ross White to put it fully in the forefoot to even get shot if he were to stick around there. So rolling kind of the wrong way, I think there. Leave some options for Ross.
Well, here we see the team that will await the winner of the Switzerland-Scotland game. Canada is in the gold medal game. They're just looking on to see who they'll play. No, Scotland not going to play the draw here. They'll play the hit to try and sit 2. That might force Marco Hösli to make the draw himself for the game.
Yeah, we haven't been watching this game, so we don't know the last time Marco threw a draw. It could have been a while, and that could be playing into this factor for Ross White to be playing the hit here.
Well, need to make the hit. A mistake here, and the game is lost. Calling on you and Kyle. The lead to try and carve this in, get some extra finish, makes the hit. Actually rolls a bit further in just to shrink the scoring area for Marco Hösli. That's a pretty good shot.
Yeah, that's exactly what they intended to do there. Try to get a little bit more of the forefoot, and he actually doesn't fully bury it, which means that it can't be used for backing quite as easily for Team Switzerland either. So a great result there for Scotland with his World Championship hopes on the line.
And quite a lot of eyes on Marco Hösli. Last game ongoing in the Queen's Place Emira Centre this evening. Everyone is watching. Draw the forefoot, put yourself in the final. Also the sweepers, of course, needing to judge the weight here. Line's good. It's all about the weight. Yannis Spies and Marco Hefti is trying to bring this to the forefoot. Is it there? Is it good enough for Switzerland? It is. What a clutch draw by Marco Hösli. And this young player keeping his nerves under control. Wow. What a game. 10-9 the final. High-scoring game after Switzerland scoring 4 in the first end. Scotland just couldn't recover. And devastation for Ross White, who came so close a year ago, undefeated into the semi-final, had the worst possible start. You have to feel for the Scots here. They've been outplaying everyone this week, and then to see them have one really bad end to take it all away, that is tough. So the last game we had mentioned was Russia-China in the women's semi-final. Russia coming out on top with an 8-6 win, so it's Russia to play Canada in the gold medal game for the women.
This should be fine.
7th end. Really a chance to
Wait's good.
to bank this win for Tyler Tardy, chasing a Norwegian rock in behind cover. Just couldn't curl enough, and a steal of one for the Norwegians to keep them within reach.
Less than that.
In the 9th end, Norway lying one, forcing Canada to score their single, but over curling on the Canadians, coming up short. Even the team effort couldn't bring that to the 12th hit. Another steal for Norway. And in the 10th, Tyler Tardy facing 2 yellow rocks, playing against the game, needing a nose hit to win it.
Come on, good. Come on.
And that's made. Just a clutch shot and a really good performance by Canada, putting them through to the gold medal game.
Yeah, buddy. Nice.
So that's all wrapping up this this evening. What an exciting Friday night for semi-finals. So much action for everyone to watch. And of course, the most awaited games will be tomorrow. It is the men to start us off at 10 o'clock in the morning, local time here in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. We're going to have a chat with Tyler Tardy, winning skip of Canada.
Tyler, congratulations on your win out there. Your team controlled that game right from the get-go, and your entire team just seemed really dialed in out there tonight. What was the key to your success in that game?
Yeah, we got a bit of a head start. We got a bit of an uncharacteristic miss from the skipper there, and you know, he usually can make any draw he looks at or dreams of, and yeah, we got a bit of a head start, and hats off to them for fighting back. They made a great comeback, and yeah, I think that the first 2 ends are a big key to that game.
And it's a lot of fun to watch your team. Your entire team contributes to ice reading and getting everything figured out there. How much of a benefit is that for your team?
Yeah, it's huge. We talk a lot, and I know Matt and Alex are a huge part in that, and they're in juniors, there's probably not a whole lot of people that talk as much as those 2 guys do and figure it all out. And yeah, it's a big part to our confidence and knowing what the ice is doing.
And now with that win, you have a chance to win back-to-back World Junior titles, which is something that not very many people can say that they've done. How are you and your team feeling right now?
Ecstatic. The chance that we can bring home another gold for Canada is unreal, and knowing that regardless of the event, we're making our country proud and bringing home a medal. So yeah, we're just so happy right now.
Congratulations and good luck in the gold medal game tomorrow. Thanks, Tyler.
Tyler Tardy, a great chance to go back-to-back, winning the title with his third Sterling Middleton last season, picking up a new front end for this week. Are now in the gold medal game, going to play Switzerland tomorrow. As mentioned, that'll be at 10 o'clock for the men. That's both the gold and bronze game. The women will play later on at 3 o'clock, both the gold and bronze game. And that is it for the curling action here today. Please join us again tomorrow for the finals. Thanks for watching World Curling TV. It's been great, and we still have some entertainment left for you from Liverpool, Nova Scotia.
Good.
Whoa! Come on. Good. Come on. Yeah.